East side on breeze.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Attack. All right. Good luck to you both.
Good luck, guys.
Something that really stuck out to me there was Lotus going a little further down the line than I was expecting, 𝐒𝐄𝐂𝐒.
Yeah, exactly. EDG has been also banning this map, so I was surprised. It was a little bit of a push and pull of who's going to ban it first.
Classic game of chicken.
Are we both going to be living it open? What is going to be happening here? And we see it is EDG actually that decides to ban it. So Loud is very, very convinced they do not want to face EDG on this split.
I think this is legitimately a very good map pool for EDG. They're starting on Icebox, where Loud tends to be good on that map with the Harbor Viper, but they play one of those 𝐒𝐄𝐒 that can fight into those walls really well. If they get a win there, they take Loud to Breeze. I think they have a real chance of winning this series, but I reckon it would be in the 2-1 fashion. For Loud, on the other hand, I think they want to avoid going to Breeze at all costs, in my opinion. I've not been impressed with any of the looks they've shown on that map thus far. I think that thus far, like, individual form is so important on that map. It is the map where that is the most important, and I think EDG beats them in that regard.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you. Also, the confidence and the resilience that both of these squads have shown into when it comes to that last map. For some of them, better than the other one. So I'm scared in both regards to what happens when this map goes to distance, and especially when things are not working. How are the solutions that they're going to find if some individuals cannot really show up?
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how all that pans out. But what I'm really excited for is, honestly, what this would mean for EDG if they could win. They get revenge on the team that knocked them out of Champions, that stopped their excellent 2023 year. They get revenge on the team who just eliminated FPX, the other Chinese team representing here. And they get to make it into top 4 at a global event. They've been on this long climb, mountain after mountain, to really be considered a top contender at international events. I think if they win here, if they're one of only 4 teams in the playoffs at Masters Madrid, it's really a chance for no one anymore to deny their form compared to the rest of the global competition.
And this is a great opponent for doing so, because if EDG has advanced, has progressed, has developed as a team, all of these individuals should be able to go head on head with.
मैं भर के रखता हूँ, मेरे को तो PRX के लिए वोट करना है,
the fundamentals, because I feel like Loud just have that so in spades.
That's the thing. This is a great test. Let's say one of the final tests for this squad, because Loud has
ये देख भाई, गेम में मत देखो तुम लोग, ये सब देखो.
For so long, they have so much
हरामी बनो पूरे.
They've played against every single playstyle. They know how to read onto all of these different situations and outcomes. So if they are able to,
मेरा रिंग लाइट भी खराब हो गया है.
It shows that EDG even
बराबर से फोकस नहीं देता. लाइट नहीं आता इसमें. इसके लिए मैं फेस कैम नहीं करता ज़्यादा.
Yeah, this is really going to be decided by Icebox in this series. For me, for Loud, they play the Harbor Viper. Their fundamentals are so exceptional.
अपने इधर के रहता है ना, उनके राइट्स लगते हैं पैसिफिक वगैरह के. ये तो वर्ल्ड वाइड है. उन लोग को घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कोई देखे ना देखे.
We've seen some success. It's been a mixed bag in the past. They're playing the more default comp that, honestly, this Harbor Viper comp tends to do.
रोज आते हैं लोग, डेली आते हैं भाई.
I think this is going to be make or break early in this series.
Real quick, I don't know if you guys see our poll down at the bottom of the
screen. कास्टर थे official.
We started this poll. It was all out.
जितने दिन गेम चलेगा उतने दिन इन लोग आएंगे.
Selling people on EDG. I was seeing the numbers start to go up a little bit. I don't know. You feel like you guys are making some believers out there.
Which team do you support by?
I think I feel like this is pretty spot on. In my mind, I think this is a 60-40 in favor of Loud.
अपने रीजन का रहता ना, ये उन लोग का बीटी होता है कि उन लोग बोलते कि ये सब नहीं कर सकते तुम लोग, तुम्हारे पास राइट्स नहीं है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. इंटरनेशनल मैच कोई भी गेम तुम देख सकते हो. अनलेस के उन लोग के उसमें हो. और होगा तो रिमूव कर दूंगा. हमको तो देखना है भाई.
This is going to be an excellent day. Who's going to make it out into the top 4? Let's find out. Is it Loud versus EDG? We got Carmine Core versus PaperX. Day 5 of Masters Madrid starts right now.
Let's go. मैं तो वेट कर रहा हूँ भाई PRX के गेम का. उसमें क्यों चला के रखा होगा. इतने साले कलर्स मेरे से नहीं देखे जाते. हेलो अंश, व्हाट्स अप, वेलकम स्ट्रीम, कैसे हो? आसपास क्यों नहीं है भाई? तू कौन सी दुनिया में जी रहा है? आसपास ने टीम चेंज कर लिया था, लेवियातान में चले गया था और लेवियातान क्वालिफाई नहीं हुई। अपना टीम आया, अपना टीम आया, ERX आया। कैसे हो हंस भाई, बताओ क्या चल रहा है? How's it going?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's been a big part of PaperX and finding someone that
दवाई
would be very hard. We had a new
मैं नहीं देखता अब। हाँ फिर तो तू वहाँ वही आसपास दूसरी टीम में चलेगा, लेवियातान में चलेगा।
Just myself that not being confident, you know, because all the players in PaperX are like top notch in the world.
ये मोनियत जी में था, अभी PaperX में चलेगा। कुछ नहीं, बस गोल्ड 8 तक। अरे रैंक से कुछ सीन नहीं भाई, खेलते रहो। एक जिस दिन तुमको पता चल जाएगा ना कैसे रैंक अप करना है, गोल्ड से सीधा तुम डायमंड और असेंडेंट आ जाओगे इंस्टेंट। बस थोड़ा दिमाग और थोड़े से एम का, डिसेंट एम का खेल और कुछ नहीं, ज्यादा नहीं। और गोल्ड प्लैटिनम ये सब बहुत इजी है भाई, तुमको लगता है हार्ड, इट्स लाइक रियली इजी। जिस दिन तुमको पता लगेगा कि ये गेम है, इसको गेम के जैसे खेलूं, तब तुम समझ जाओगे। कल लड़ाई हो गई 3 लोग की, देखा था? कल की गेम देखनी थी भाई। दीपू अगर तूने कल का गेम देखा रहता था ना PRX और इनका, तो तेरे को मत पता चलता। तूने वाईटी खोला तो देखा कि लाइव चल रहा है। हाँ कोई बात नहीं, मैं तो देखता हूँ भाई, मेरे को यही एंटरटेनमेंट है, मेरे को बहुत मजा आता है देखने में। इन लोग की टैक्टिक्स क्या यूज करते हैं इन लोग, सब देखने में बहुत ज्यादा मजा आता है मेरे को। कांकांग अभी पहले जैसा मार नहीं पा रहा। हेलो विनवुल्फ, प्रणाम प्रणाम, नमस्ते। कैसे होता है ऐसे ना? I don't know हुआ कि नहीं हुआ। प्लैटिनम वालों को मार देता हूँ आराम से, दोस्तों के साथ खेलता हूँ तो मजे के लिए। हाँ तो फिर तो ऐसे ही खेलो ना, तो फिर तो बढ़िया इंसान हो तुम। मैं सोलो क्यों करता हूँ? मेरे को इतने गंदे बंदे मिलते हैं, अब मेरे को आदत पड़ गया है तो मेरे को उतना माइंड नहीं करता। मैं किसी को कुछ बोलता भी नहीं, अगर पर मेरा तब दिमाग खराब होता है जब 4-5 गेम में लाइन से हारूं और फिर कोई मेरे को बोले, तब तक कुछ नहीं मेरे को कि तेरी वजह से हार रहे। ओ एंट्री ये म्यूजिक अच्छा है ना? कांकांग आया, कांकांग। क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा, लाउड या EDG? प्रोबेबिलिटी लाउड की ज्यादा है, बट आई थिंक मैं थोड़ा कांकांग सपोर्टर हूँ, नॉट आई वोंट से EDG। टाइमिंग एंड पोजिशनिंग, एग्जैक्टली मैन। टाइमिंग, पोजिशनिंग, आउटप्लेज, दैट्स इट। तुमको थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज रहना चाहिए कैसे आउटप्ले कर सकता हूँ, तो फिर तुम गोल्ड कैसे हो? इतना तुमको नॉलेज है तो why are you gold?
Between two teams that could very well go the distance in this competition. On the one end, you have EDG, a squad that's coming into this one.
ये लोग तो बहुत मोटे हो गए, हाँ ना?
China on their back because they are the last remaining Chinese team in this competition. But on the other side, you have Loud, a squad.
ना मुझे पता है तो किसकी बात कर रहा है।
They have reached the top of the mountain and they are looking.
लेस की बात कर रहा है ना? बहुत हैंडसम था वो पहले, अभी भी है, बट अभी बैठ के गेम खेलेंगे तो क्या होगा? और मैं खुद मोटा हो गया हूँ भाई। खाना खाते खाते गेम खेलो, गेम खेल के खाना खाओ। हाँ मेरा एम थोड़ा इनकंसिस्टेंट है भाई। हाँ होते हैं ऐसे लोग भाई, होता है भाई, होता है। मेरे को मजा क्या आता है पता है? इन लोग जो कॉम्प यूज करते हैं और उन लोग प्ले बनाते हैं, लाइक थोड़े से टाइम में पूरा गेम इन्फो लेंगे, फिर एंड टाइम पे रश मार देंगे किधर। मोस्टली टीम्स ऐसा करती है,
excuse me, the PaperX Heritage
पर
game,
PRX
you
कुछ
know,
भी
when
करती
you're
है.
in these elimination matches, you're in these high pressure moments, right? You got to wear it all out there on the stage, and 𝐒𝐄𝐂𝐒, I think both of these teams, they're going to do just that. Both teams have like very famous gifs of them like mocking one another, so I think it's safe to say that we're going to get some more moments like that.
Hear me out. We all remember 𝐶𝐶𝐶 standing up and just showing that operator.
And we all remember 𝐒𝐿 just going, what are you doing?
Yeah. What is that? What is that? Is that a toy?
हाँ, इन लोग की
But yeah,
इन लोग की पुरानी दुश्मनी है, उनके बारे में बता रही है ये. मेरे को अभी याद आया कि इन लोग लाउड के अगेंस्ट हारे थे इन लोग EDG लास्ट टाइम. जो कांगकांग ने ऐसा वो दिखाया था ऑपरेटर का, वो सदाक ने बाद में किया था ऐसा करके कि क्या कर रहा है तू ऐसे, उसका मिमिक किया था, आई मीन ट्रोल किया था उसको. मैं एक साल बाद देख रहा हूँ ये. हाँ तो ये हर साल होता है.
And when we talk about the history, there's only been one change. That's
Masters,
𝐶𝐶𝐶. On this map, he's playing the Jet.
Challengers,
He's going up against
फिर Masters,
a man who may
फिर
be considered
Champions.
the best operator player in the world. It is going to be
ऑफ सीजन भी रहता है, ऑफ सीजन भी रहता है उसके पहले एकदम पूरे टाइम
चलते
चलते रहते रहे इनके. बस एक बार पता चल जाएगा कैसे ऑर्ग में जाते हैं, मैं खुद चले जाऊंगा.
Yeah, this could be a moment here for 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶, and we'll have to see if this is going to come to fruition. Of course, for 𝐶𝐶𝐶, he could very well shut it all down here. But it's time now for our first pistol round of the day. So let's go ahead, send it over to your casters. You got Mitch and Tom.
स्टेज भी बहुत बड़ा है बे.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yes, we're here in Madrid, ready to kick off this game. Tom, the pistol's going to be underway in just a second. Quick thoughts on Loud and EDG before we get into this one, because we've seen this matchup before.
Yeah, and it is 50-50. One team won the first, one team.
Hello, निर्मल भाई, what's up? अनुशील, कैसे हो? कैसे हो?
ZOTAC versus
आइए.
the sort of faces they've pulled, even mocking each other at times.
क्या सीन है?
I think this one might just get fiery, and honestly, I'm so excited to get into this matchup.
Well, the pistol round is kicking off with EDG on the defensive side here on icebox.
𝐶𝐶𝐶 on Jet.
Already making their way
Holy
up
shit,
towards
that guy
nobody.
is forward.
Looks like there could be a fight on his hands.
Okay, he saw him.
Spotted them down below. The info's there for EDG.
𝐶𝐶𝐶 ने एक ले लिया.
But a trade back.
तीन body shots.
Look to quicken the pace towards
He's
this
not
side.
peeking now.
But he's tucked into the corner. Has an opportunity.
Man advantage है, उन लोग fight ले रहे हैं still.
Just fades back. Nice shot by 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶. The
Spam में मर गया.
but the players have fully rotated.
Disrespect किया उन लोग ने
EDG will
smoke
attempt this
को.
retake
Okay,
moments from
this
now
is
when
good.
this wall falls, or when they step
Call
right
out.
through it. The spams the game for now, and a wide swing from 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶 opens up all the space. Loud of
भाई उन लोग disrespect कर रहे हैं इनको पूरा पहले से ही.
A solid start from then, and kind of what you expect to see on this attack side. I think EDG are going to be waiting to get onto theirs.
मैं आधा Discord पे पर आप डिवीजन खेलते हो. निर्मल अभी दूसरे गेम
Of course, it's
खेलते
one
हैं.
of those matchups where I almost feel like teams were playing
खोला
a
नहीं
bit of
Discord
chicken
में,
when it
खोला.
came down to the veto.
हीलियोस ने कुछ भेजा था मेरे को.
Obviously, the initial
कोई तो
ban
गाना.
coming through from EDG of Ascent was very surprising,
वो
considering
सुना था
Valorant
last
was
Discord
shaky,
में.
their identity looking a little bit lost, but a map that they smashed them on at Champs, and maybe just having some flashbacks.
This match is मजाक.
Then you've also had the removal of Split, and both teams
आया
sort
भाई
of
नाम
flew
लिया और
forward to stop
हाजिर हो गया भाई
Valorant
शैतान.
until we end up on the maps we're on. I feel
बस
like
नाम ही लिया मैंने.
so, I want to say somewhat in the favor of Loud.
पता है ये
I
साइन
feel
है
like
कि
their
तू
map pool just that
डोनेट
little
कर
bit
तू
deeper.
लाल कलर का.
But when
ऊपर
EDG
चैट
go
कर.
into their opponent's map throughout this tournament thus far, they have been very,
Welcome
very
Yushim भाई. आओ. आओ.
Doesn't have a lot to speak for, but the flank up by 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶 and the sneaky play on mid. He had been spotted earlier, obviously, as we saw 𝐶𝐶𝐶 take a bit of an engagement with him. So Loud aren't allowing any free space to be taken by that
मिनी मैप ही नहीं दिख रहा ना, रुक जाओ एक
problem
सेकंड.
here is if they do feel boxed in by 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶 and any potential B pushes, they'd be running into an A stack. We can see EDG have fully stacked up that site. But as you can see, Loud are not looking to commit blindly. They've spread back out and found some space.
Yeah, I actually think that that's really important that they go back and get that fight, because it does put the doubt in the minds of their opponents a little bit. EDG were able to stack up on A because they had the information that they had control for anybody rotating back.
पूरा लेट के
Still,
स्वागत
though,
करो, ठीक है.
40 seconds left. It does
स्वागत
look
है
like
यूस
they could be
भाई.
pushing into the EDG stack, which is probably one of the only ways they could really
वापस
take
चले
any
जाओ.
damage in this round.
You know, this is perfect. You've taken down 𝐒𝐿𝐶𝐶. At this point, you assume there's someone towards B. They'll hear the
कैसे
Viper
हो?
wall go up. You don't have control of mid. So the rotates will go towards that side. But there was nobody
मैं
there
लड़की थोड़ी
from
जल्दी में
EDG.
सोचना पड़े.
Everybody still patiently
शर्मिला
waiting
है
on
वो.
A. And now's their chance to get some value. One kill is
Alright.
all they'll get. A big stop
अब
by
शुरू होगा
Loud.
game.
Even though they run into the stack, they find
Come
all
on
the value.
EDG.
The second round, cleanly in their pocket.
Yeah, nice work from them. Just taking their time. Obviously, on the other side of things, EDG didn't really
ये बात
have
शेयर
anything,
मत
so I don't
शेयर
think
है ही
they're
नहीं भाई
gonna
मेरे
feel
पास
too
मैं अभी
hard
वो
done by the
प्लास्टिक
fact
की
that they
खुद
don't really
देखता
get
हूँ
too many kills.
मेरा ये लाइट भी
Looking
खराब
to
हो गया देखो
bounce
ना
back in
एकदम डल
with
सा है
rifles
इससे
on
ज्यादा
every
तेज
single
नहीं हो रहा
player. Now,
खराब हो
I
गया
do
ये
think it's going to be
धीरे
fairly
धीरे सब कुछ
important
खराब होते जा
for
रहा
EDG
है
to get off to a good start in this
प्लास्टिक
series,
की
because
चेयर पे
we've
भिड़ो ये
already
कभी
seen
नहीं
that a
टूटेगी ये
couple of
वाली चेयर
times in their match versus
कितना भी
GeForce.
ऐसा कैसा
They
कर
did
लूं
very well in the early, and then they seem to teeter out a little bit, slow down, and Louder a team that will punish you if they're able to get off the mark.
ये मैप की जगह कर नहीं मैप देखो ना मैप में देखोगे तो मालूम पड़ेगा इसके लिए तो मैं हटाया हो
He may not directly be coming in as an
ऐसा साइड में देखने की आदत नहीं है यार
coming up against a player like Khan, you need that star power. Already though, Smoggy off to a flying start.
बाद में कर दूंगा
Is dropped, Sova gone. And it's definitely going to make things a little bit more difficult now that you don't have your initiator.
Yeah, one of the things they've been struggling with is क़𝐂𝐄𝐒 getting into sights, and without having a Sova to reveal them up, it's going to be a bit tougher. Now no flank protection either as Sadik falls.
Right
this is
top
how
पर
these
names
rounds
नहीं दिख रहा है
typically go when you slow down the pace. You're not going to win most of the fights you're taking.
इधर
And in this case, none of
चलेगा
them so far. The final attempt will be to group
हटा ही
up
देता हूँ
to make some value out of this lower buy round for Loud. They want to drop a couple of weapons out of EDG's hands, but just look how patient and passive this defensive side is being. They're willing to give up the site control and play the retakes together.
Yeah, they've already got them pretty much boxed in once again. The same push has come through from 𝐒𝐿. Nice work from क़𝐂𝐄𝐒 though.
मैं फोन टॉप भाई कांग को डिलीट कर दिया फ्लैश किया पर नोबडी इज आउट उसके पूरा इन्फो है भाई क़𝐿 पे नॉट लुकिंग गुड भाई कितना स्पेस लेके बैठा है देखो ये
how far forward they've actually gone. I don't know if there's anybody that can actually be picked off. He needs to go huge from this position, and while
swing अच्छा था
right there comes 𝐒𝐿 in from behind.
लेस अकेले बचा है
is left to try and clutch this 1 versus 3. There probably isn't anybody else you'd want, but even
he
can't win out that one.
Not the end of the world at all. I mean, they get the 2 kills. It's sort of bare minimum done.
वैसे हम लोग वीकेंड में खेलते आओ बोलेंगे नहीं चलेगा ओके आता हूं मैं पर बोलूंगा नहीं
rebuys, but again fairly minimal considering the lack of losses. It's all right for Loud. This is the formality of early Valorant out of the way. It's sort of weird to not see that third round one. Most of the games we've been covering, Thomas, it's been pure chaos by now, but well, PaperX game later on. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, to be fair, we have been doing China versus Pacific in every game so far, so
okay, one round on the ball.
It's understandable why some of these games have gone the other way. Even still, though, this is where things get interesting. क़𝐂𝐄𝐒 has been doing well in the early rounds as well.
टैग को टैग नहीं है क्योंकि पता है वो नहीं आएगा नहीं मैं आता हूँ तो मैं बैठे रहता हूँ भाई हम लोग कितने घंटे बैठते एकदम देर तक बैठे रहता हूँ नहीं आता तो मैं नहीं आता हूँ ऐसा सीन है इन्विटेशन दिए हो तो आऊंगा भाई तेरे लिए बस तेरे को बात करना पड़ेगा भाई हीलियोस तेरी मधुर आवाज तुझे सुनानी पड़ेगी
Yeah, rightfully so. Bit of map control, pushing the EDG side out of position, grabbing orbs and looking for picks.
Okay.
As you said, क़𝐂𝐄𝐒's had a good time on the way through, a difference from some of the series we've seen, and now he's got the blade storm to try and pick these
इतना स्पेस लेके उन लोग पीछे हट गए पर
after seeing that control, grabbing their orb and not finding
हार्डोंग पे इन्फो था लाइक उनका वाइपर देखो कहां खेल रहे हैं देनो
deep on B. There was no one going to retrieve it. This
मैं
was
लकड़ी हूँ
all
ब्रो
attempted ruse.
इतनी ज्यादा बॉडी बना के तुम खुद को लकड़ी बोल रहे हो
Wonderfully. There's currently only one
pushing
player
mid.
left on the site, but
दो मिड से आ रहे हैं
pushing players up mid. Got nobody deep.
Only Viper B.
They've also got 𝐒𝐿 rotating in, but they are about to be under some serious pressure.
It's the right call again. Same thing we've seen from EDG.
चार बंदे आ गए बस और बाकी सब इधर है
in their retake game. No big ultis online to help them, and a few shots through the wall that actually
लगा उसको भी कांग को
half HP, a little
Wall bang.
below. Not going to be ideal for the fight.
क्या चेक पड़ता है भाई वाह
Seems to be secured. The cove broken and a snake bite down, but
मुझे भाने
that's
नहीं
not going
जाता
to
है
deter them. Now it's time to fight back in, and they've already lost their entry man. Khan down.
रुको ना फाइट
Balancing still in position. The Blade Storm looking to find value. Players up top as well. I mean, Loud are not playing a retake on this. They're not trying to deny the defuse. They're trying to deny any boots on the ground. But they've lost a few fights. 2E's is very low. They've got to be extremely careful here. And with less down, even more so. Sonic dropped, and it's only the 30 HP 2E's left to try and close this round out. Already being stuck to halfway. 2E's needs to time this just right. And the shot is perfect.
Definitely got a little bit dicey in the end. I think that pre-fire shot from smogy basically made it interesting. Because up until that point, I was like,
किसी का पैसा वसूल कर लेंगे
post
पूरा.
plan, you've still got.
तो उसके लिए तो लेते भाई.
Okay, I'm not really too worried for them. And then he hits that shot.
मेरे जैसा थोड़ी.
Very interesting. The thing is though, I feel like so far Loud have been fantastic with their orb management. They make sure at the beginning of the round that the reason they.
क्या मारा है इसने भाई अंधा.
That orb even.
मैं जैसे स्मोक के थ्रू मार देता हूँ ऐसे ही रैंडम. वैसे मार दिया.
So then he's able to actually use the reckoning. So
कल जैसा लड़ाई होना चाहिए तो मजा है. Loud dominating as usual. 1-3 हुए भाई. अभी भी चांस है. कल का गेम देखता था ना तू दीपू तो तेरे को मजा आता था. कल PRX वर्सेस ये देखता था ना. टीम हेरेक्टिक्स पूरा हेरेक्टिक्स का क्राउड था. जो लड़ाई हुई थी उन लोग की जो मजा आया मेरे को देख के. केला आदमी बोला ना मजाक. तू रहने दे भाई. तुम गोल्ड वाले तुम लोग को नहीं समझेगा भाई गेम कैसे खेलते. ये कुछ भी शॉट मार देगा तो तुमको लगेगा हाँ भाई क्या खेल रहे. वन साइड हो गया. रुको भाई कुछ किधर से भी कमबैक होगा. Nah, hug दिया.
Yeah, he was hoping that he could make the player vulnerable and then right-click them as they moved away. I don't mind the idea. Ultimately, only having a classic.
थोड़ा दिमाग से स्लो हो गया वो वरना मार देता था.
Not much invested and more. What
चाइना
was
जीतना नहीं
invested
चाहिए
was
बस.
actually at least a guardian onto Kankan. He's immediately dead. Already though.
भाई अल्टी मार दिया उसने.
Fury thrown in. I guess they really believe they could take this round away from them. Chichu's managed
Okay,
to
दो
find
बंदे
another one.
push किए.
Might be right, but Sadak still just holding down
Alright.
the block. Smoggy's found one more. Eventually though, it does.
उन लोग का रीड देखो भाई. सीधा येलो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है वो बंदा. एक मार के.
Right? I mean, it's not even like they were already positioned to have a chance. They just went whole hog on it.
It was a 1-for-1 trade and a post plant.
Not looking good. Not looking good. 1-4 time out.
Just a bit.
भाई उन लोग पे एम है यार. कांकांग वांकांग क्या हो गया. कांकांग सो गया. उठाओ उसको.
It's not like they're going to have a huge
उसको
problem
छिड़ाओ.
in the ult economy. They've got a couple big ones coming online soon. One thing that's drawing my eye though is the fact that ZOTAC has a lockdown.
हाँ फाइनल्स था. वो तो
to
बहुत
deal
पहले
with
का है. इसके पहले का है.
other well-placed utility.
2-11 कमबैक हुआ था. हाँ. इस बार FNC मैड्रिड में आया भी नहीं रे. बुरा लगा उनके लिए. अरे क्यूटी स्मोगी ओपी भाई. स्मोगी ओपी. स्मोगी ओपी. क्यूटी ने बोला स्मोगी ओपी तो स्मोगी ओपी. बाकी कोई नहीं. बाकी सब अभी कोई बोलेगा नहीं कुछ. EDG विंस.
that attacking side. I think that's where we've seen, especially EDG.
खानगान का मॉनिटर भाई उससे ज्यादा ऐसा करके देखता पूरा घुस जाता मॉनिटर में. तो अच्छा ही है ना वो.
That's my major worry.
सही है वो.
Is so far in this tournament.
I think he can.
Going by ACS, going by ADR, going by the most stats that involve kills.
ये आए हमारे कोच भाई इलियोस भाई. कहाँ से हो भाई आप. Valorant Gold Lobby coach. मॉनिटर प्लेसमेंट बराबर नहीं. बाकी सब ठीक है. क्रॉसर प्लेसमेंट है. मॉनिटर प्लेसमेंट ही खराब है. तो बंदा खेल कैसे रहा है भाई उधर इतने बड़े स्टेज पे. कोच हिलियोस भाई. जा चले जा भाई. तू तेरा जरूरत है उधर. कांकांग का मॉनिटर ठीक करके आ. तू तो शायद वो मारने लग जाएगा जोर से. तू उनको हरवाएगा भाई. लड़कियां मुझे पकड़ लेगी. क्यों पकड़ेगी तुझे लड़कियां. क्योंकि तू लड़कियों के दिल का चोर है. मतलब ये कहना चाहता है ना तू.
He's going to have to commit to this angle.
One way ticket.
Next couple seconds unless we see him retreat and
उधर से आएगा नहीं फिर. वो तो बच जाएगा उधर भाई. भाई इसका पोजी अच्छा है. Nobody का. Ooh, nice timing man. Okay. Time out का वर्क आ रहा है. 2 मिनट है स्टिल इसके सामने. One is going kitchen lurk. Right. दो किचन लग.
Howdong waiting patiently, but he has to be careful that he's not caught out. There are a lot of players pushing from a lot of different angles. He might just he's missed the timing just by a millimeter. That's enough. And actually, Chichu's now gone down again. This round is starting to get really dangerous. There are so many angles. He has to be careful.
अरे यार हद गया.
Howdong caught in no
भाई
man's
विनेबल
land.
गेम था,
For 4v3, it might be down to just one. Too easy.
विनेबल राउंड था, ये तो हक दिया.
Loud have managed to recover from a position that looked
लर्फ
really
पे निकाल लिया इन लोगों ने.
to making this round look comfortable.
I think they've just had a really strong
Pila का
mid-round
एक पैर बेच
decision.
दूंगा.
The entire we had 2 rounds ago where Loud seemed to be in control the whole way through. They had their game plan. And
लैपटॉप बेच के भेजेगा देखो.
didn't put them on the back foot.
कितने का था मैड्रिड का टिकट भाई बता.
Even with the disruption of nobody finding a kill right now, Smoggy
जा देख के आ जल्दी.
it's too late to get back in to deal with 2. Maybe he can do some more damage, and that may be, well, it's turning to a reality. That's a free kill for him.
पहले बुक करना पड़ता है एडवांस.
The reality is,
अब तो तू पहुंचेगा तब तक गेम खत्म हो जाएगा. शायद फाइनल्स तक पहुंच सकता है तो फिर भी.
Close one that EDG might even have had the upper hand in, but they got chopped up into individual fights all across the map just by not having a read on what the hell Loud were trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think for Howdong I can kind of forgive. Like he ended up surrounded because of where the battles went elsewhere, but every other player ends up alone.
इसको किचन पुश कर देना था जो नीचे था ना वाइपर उनका हाउडोंग.
Just position themselves fantastically well, and yeah, the mid
वाइपर या किलजॉय था कौन था?
That initial take for them, even using a lockdown, it didn't go very well. EDG did well, but it's
17,000
the way that they play in the mid round that was sublime.
मेरा सीपीयू बेच दूंगा आ जाएगा. चल तुझे जाना है तो बोल.
This is definitely looking a little bit
पर फिर मैं सीन नहीं करूंगा.
Khan's going to try and pad the gap. He has had a quiet match so far. Got his second kill in the last round, but it didn't really matter.
को एकदम तड़प मच रही है कि उधर जाना ही पड़ेगा अब तो.
Now his blade storm
तो बेच सकते हैं.
definitely has potential.
70,000.
Potential's not realized this time around, is it? And I think the other problem being that, okay, 𝐒𝐄𝐄 might be able to get them back in the next round for retake.
17 से मात्रा हटा 70 बन गया. कोई तो बाबा जी ने इससे बोला.
So there's like the safety nets that appear to be forming underneath EDG aren't really there.
नहीं देर.
Being done. It actually is keeping Loud's economy pretty steady despite a fight.
मॉली बराबर था, थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट राइट था मॉली.
जमा ये भी. End up being costly enough that EDG might be able to reasonably force an eco out of this squad with 1 or 2 wins, depending on how investments go. The reality is there hasn't been a lot of hope in these rounds.
फुटबॉल खेलना सीख जाते उसको फ्री में लेके जाएंगे मैड्रिड में.
If last goes down, it could be an advantage.
भाई उधर मैड्रिड में ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छे हैं.
And he's sticking around. This looks like it'll be his fight, and not one he'll win, but that does still get the pit online. Costs you a rifle, but it doesn't give 𝐒𝐄𝐄 an orb. He already had the lockdown.
No, again, it
अभी वन साइड लग रहा है मेरे को थोड़ा बहुत. इन लोग डर रहे रे, मार सकते हैं इन लोग सामने वाले. कांग मार सकते हैं. ऑपरेटर निकाला.
For at least a couple of rounds. Their ult economy again.
ऑपी निकाला.
Fantastic. Someone's tripping out. For the side
मैं
of
प्योरेस्ट हूँ, मैं
EDG,
सिर्फ
they're
पीपा
already going to
खेलता
be
हूँ.
taking their second pause, and I don't blame them because these rounds, even though okay, there's been casualties, I don't think any of them have looked particularly close.
इन लोग पास्ट को लेके डर रहे
To
हैं.
get to the second portion of the round, and they need to start getting onto the board because sure, there's expectations that their attack side is going to be better, but they need to actually have a decent sort of foundation to actually build upon, because let's not pretend like Loud are just going to allow them back into the game. Like they've got some fantastic players over on their side that, like, you can bet your house on at least 1 round less is just going to win it. Like, let's be real, he has been one of the best players I would say in the tournament.
अच्छे है क्या वो गेम?
The last year, 2 years.
उसमें बस पास करना आना चाहिए ना बॉल.
I think at this stage there needs to be a
इधर उधर पास करना आना चाहिए.
EDG in the past, 𝐒𝐄𝐄, there was that interview where he said they really do rely on their coaching staff. They learn a lot, they take a lot. Well, let's hope the second pause is where they get that.
We saw a lot of conversation about Coach Alex's pause yesterday and the impact that it had for PaperX, them going on to win like 11 out of 13 of the next rounds. Maybe that can be the case for EDG here. They don't even need it to be that strong of a statement. Just this attack side to at least have some legs. Remember, even the best teams in the world will refer to those pistols as coin flips.
Combo भी I don't know.
Going into that with 1 round in your
होगा कुछ. और उसमें तो मेरे को इतना ही लगता है ना बॉल पास करना आना चाहिए. वो शॉट का कॉम्बो रहेगा, जैसे शॉट मारना रहेगा तो मिड से 5 शॉट वगैरह कुछ तो रहेगा. बहुत पहले खेला था मैं वो.
Lockdown on
अब तो मेरे को कोई आइडिया नहीं है.
Really going to be that threatening when 𝐶𝐿 still up.
Yeah, he's probably just holding the Hunter's Fury for that exact reason. So already. Oh no, never mind.
क्रिकेट खेलता था मैं.
He's got him for blood and he's going to get it as well. Might even get a tag onto 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐄, not far away. Nobody's been having a bleak time over on this A site. 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐄 does well, but he has to give it up. The Reckoning is going to force him back completely, and I imagine we're going to see, it's an up-top plant, because they're just going to play this one passive. You want to go for a lockdown? Sure. We're going to be sitting so far back that it's not even going to matter. And I'm also starting to have a look at that rotation coming through.
लेट्स का लर्क इन लोग को अब तक रीड नहीं मिला भाई, ये कब से लर्क कर रहे लोग?
He's going to be caught. That's the only downside, but maybe they'll think he's around middle, not up here. No, they're checking it. And he's won the fight with 2 snake bites in a post plant. You'd imagine he's setting up for that right now, but instead they're committing more resources.
Passing, dribbling, shooting.
This is a counter to what EDG just put through. A lockdown used, but their back is wide open.
3v3 doable. एक लड़का उनको पता है. स्मॉगी ने 3 निकाले.
Just to secure no defuse.
पर टाइम नहीं है.
There's no one near the defuse, no one near the spike. In fact, as 2E's is about to realize, swinging into heavy traffic. It's not nice to have 4 kills in a round and have to go and save, but that's the reality for EDG.
अभी उन लोग को 4 राउंड कंटिन्यूस जीतने पड़ेंगे.
Yeah, this one's going to come up as a Red Bull clutch, but there was nothing even particularly clutch about that. That round was over about 20 seconds ago. Like, Loud came in, again, every single round we're witnessing, they have a game plan. They know what their opponents have. Okay, they've got a lockdown. Let's put ourselves in a post plant that doesn't allow that to work. Let's have less come around on the flank and basically just put this round to bed with the amount of downs that their opponents are going to have. Like, right now, this is looking like a masterclass from ZOTAC and Loud.
एक राउंड जीते सनसेट में लोग देंगे मेरे को लग रहा है.
I think that's
लोग देंगे.
It's been a really rough one to watch if you're an EDG fan. For Loud, well,
अरे उन लोग रीड ही नहीं कर पा रहे. बहुत पैसिव खेल रहे.
It looks like it might be on its way to being broken. 7-1. A strong scoreline and a strong start as they once again, on the side of Loud, push EDG out of control over Belong.
Okay. They actually go beat this round, or are they just going to take the orb and go back?
No, it's got to be an orb.
See, they haven't left the lurk. I think they're going
B. It could be the Viper's Pit
also,
you know.
There's no one lurking. It's a B take.
You actually are spot on with that one.
5-man B rush.
They've always had that extra player behind. This time it's commitment, but EDG are committing.
छोड़ मत.
Like this up behind yellow. It hasn't been spotted, but the reveal now gives away the game.
That's
a disaster for Loud. Or for EDG, pardon. It's a miracle for Loud. Free as can be.
𝐒𝐄𝐂 took some damage, and honestly, that's a disaster.
It's EDG are going to win the round.
EDG का मैप है और देख ले. देखते हैं भाई, देखते हैं.
To fall in place for them.
इनका भी स्ट्रॉन्ग मैप है ना आइसबॉक्स भाई. उन लोग एफएनसी को पानी पिला दिए थे जब वो टाइम पे. भले उन लोग बाद में हार गए थे, एफएनसी ने कमबैक किया था, पर 11 लोग 11-2 थे और एफएनसी जो बेस्ट टीम था वो टाइम पे.
It's basically caught everybody. They know where they are, but there's nothing they can do. And 𝐒𝐿, he is not looking to be kind. Already spotting out 𝐒𝐿, an awkward fight. And he is still surviving. Timmy the Turret trying to help out at least a little bit. Looking to reposition, take the fight, and he's going to kill Saggy as well. Just removing the weapons that they're trying to save. Finally, they'll deal with him. But again, the round is over. It's been over for another 25 seconds. They're just looking to fight to hold their guns. That's the game at the moment for EDG.
They are fighting it.
बहुत easy लग रहा है उनको.
Like we saw the previous one, it was on A. They pushed up forward to try and deal with the post plant. Ended up
क्या free kill उठाए.
Round was over. This time, it's all the whole
squad भाई सो रहे.
with this one Sova.
आसपास छोड़ा क्यों Loud? नहीं ऐसा नहीं छोड़ा ऐसा कुछ. उन लोग ने प्लेयर एक्सचेंज कर लिया, मतलब चेंज किया. लेव को प्लेयर चाहिए था, आसपास रिटायर हो गया तो उधर चले गया. मतलब रिटायर मतलब इधर से उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हो गया ये टीम से. लेव से खत्म हो गया तो अरे इसमें चले गया, लेव में चले गया, लाउड से खत्म हो गया तो. बाकी आसपास देखा भाई अच्छा खेलता है वो बंदा काफी.
Well, 𝐒𝐿's at least going to get one trade. Actually, the high tide kind of helping them out here. Another one for
nice
out
shot.
ZOTAC has found 2 in response.
3v3.
Yeah, 2E's hasn't had the best round with his util there, chopping up the map to
stop
them from being able to keep control of mid, but EDG took it by the reins. 𝐒𝐿 on the flank. Good position, but ZOTAC is still...
अब ये वाला जीत रहा है EDG, देखो इसका फ्लैंक में अगर
broken. Now they know. Now they're ready for the fight and a little closer than expected.
जल्दी बोल दिया मैं.
Looking to take 𝐒𝐿 down yet again. And on this angle, he's not losing it. Clean shot to the head.
जल्दी बोल दिया मैं.
Went up and on.
My bad.
And that is stopping.
My bad कांकांग भाई.
Diffusing. Surely they've got it. Oh, that's actually a nice recon up top. It hasn't caught him, but it's given away that he's there. Maybe the spams can find value. 𝐒𝐿's got to wait a moment as nobody steps forward. He's dodging the spam, but 𝐒𝐿 steps in. An unexpected play. Even the pit dropped in the end for Les to find that kill. Tom,
काली जुबान बोलो सैगी केसरी
on Icebox. EDG's map pick,
साले
and they've yet to get off one round.
This is a masterclass.
भाई यार मैं क्यों बोला यार
It seems like their decision
मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा मैं बस
perfect pretty much
देखूंगा
all the way through the game. Again, this started off with a decent individual play coming out from 𝐒𝐄𝐄, but then 𝐒𝐿 pops up, they get into the after plant, and the second that spike has
वन एंड डुअल लग गया
belief in EDG winning the round has gone down.
क्योंकि वो लो था थोड़ा सा
It just hasn't even been remotely close.
9-3
9-1. We've already seen this happen once when they played Breeze versus Gen G. EDG didn't show up to the party in this match.
Phantom
and it's
निकाल लिया
not looking good. 𝐒𝐿 has been dipped. That's not something
𝐒𝐿 ने डिलीट कर 𝐒𝐿 को डिलीट कर दिया भाई
Oh, he's been hot this tournament.
बेचारा भाई
One of the big reasons I was coming in here believing in EDG, but I can't even point to one player.
आपका 𝐒𝐿 जुड़ रहा है हाँ
piece of the puzzle. The whole puzzle's missing.
उसका स्क्रीन का पोजी चेंज करना पड़ेगा भाई
Think about what could have been. Hopefully we'll eventually find those missing pieces. EDG are searching frantically.
देख भाई हंट वेट करवाया उन लोग ने कितने हरामी है देखे देखे देखा उन लोग ने क्या किया They took the fight. उन लोग ने बुलाया कि आओ मारो bro
Single shot. It's Sadik to utterly demolish this squad. I mean, he's been doing it so far with his calling. This time he takes it into his own hands, 10-1.
I didn't enjoy that.
Oh, this is hard to watch.
Yeah, they used the Hunter's Fury there, and they used, actually, to tell a lie, they used the no command and the Hunter's Fury.
भाई उन लोग डरे हुए लिटरली भाई पिछला याद आ गया उनको
I think we've just got to start thinking about map 2. This is not even remotely to what we were expecting.
इसको देखो कैसे हंस रहा है वो भाई सदाक
Already seeded the past,
बोला मजाक
back and forth between 𝐒𝐿
110 यार इट्स लाइक
Sadak, the sniper and the sniper's mocker.
सोलो क्यों में मेरे साथ आते हैं वैसे बंदे वैसे खेल रहे हैं उन लोग
2-11.
उन लोग बेटर है
Normally, I'm not one to highlight the kill feed.
इससे तो बेटर है
not particularly
मोमेंटम टूट गया
games, but
डर रहे हैं उन लोग भाई लिटरली फाइट ही नहीं जीत पा रहे
when it comes to ACS, ADR,
तो उन पे ज्यादा इन्फो नहीं रह रहा और इन लोग बिना डरे जा रहे घुस रहे बस
this tournament.
देख लिया भाई इसको
Right now, he is non-existent. Howdong doesn't even have any shields here. That's how blink this is at the moment.
वाह भाई देखो उन लोग का किस्मत चल रहा है
Connecting their shots at this point. No one can even hit a bullet. I think they're mentally burned.
𝐒𝐿 भी जमा
I don't even know if they're gonna kill this round. No, it's nothing.
भाई एक बंदा नहीं मारा ये राउंड
This round 10.5. Can we just call it there and go back to?
मोमेंटम टूट गया वैसे बना कहाँ था
I just got EDG's coach comms there. Was that you or them? I wouldn't blame him. That's a tough one. But you rarely see a master class like this. And you got to say, those first 5 or 6 rounds, it was all
I don't know what's the deal with them
pushing and pulling the map perfectly for his squad.
but they should be thinking about the next map
He caught up with Sadik
and
early
winning
on.
it
So let's hear a little bit from him.
सरेंडर नहीं करते क्या इसमें नहीं
Meu nome é Matias, também conhecido como 𝐒𝐿, e sou o capitão da LAN.
𝐒𝐿
Em preparação para esse jogo, eu acho que foi muito
सादक ने अपना ना 𝐒𝐿 बताया
ter
𝐒𝐿
confiança que podíamos virar essa situação na que a gente está. Então, o segundo mapa foi difícil, mas eu estava com muita confiança, sabíamos que a gente podia, eu sabia que podíamos trazer
सादक इंडियन हाफ इंडियन लगता है मेरे को आई डोंट नो सर नाम भी सादक है
stomping onto site. But a 1-for-1 trade, the numbers so favourable towards Loud. Guaranteeing closing in, it's all on Autumn. This guy has been a rock star for this
बुरा लगा भाई
but a brutal position, a brutal
कांगकांग
round to potentially
उन लोग हार जाए पर मेरे को चाहिए कि कांगकांग टॉप रैक करे भाई
He's got so many targets, so many threats. He can't do it.
A gente já se enfrentou no passado contra a EDG, sabemos que é um time muito bom. A EDG em particular é um time que sabe muito bem trocar o ritmo das jogadas. Às vezes ele joga muito devagar, às vezes ele joga muito mais rápido. E isso faz que seja um pouco difícil de ter uma boa leitura contra ele.
बराबर सादक भाई exactly yes
Realmente é difícil.
बराबर
com o Pedito no ataque, então tem uma variedade estratégica
बराबर
muito boa. Para os fãs, amamos vocês, muito obrigado pelo apoio, vocês são incríveis. Espero que vocês assistam nós, continuem apoiando nós. Se fica muito cedo para vocês, peço perdão. É o que temos para hoje. E é isso. Um beijo gigante e muito apoio para nós.
Vamos!
Well, Tom, 𝐒𝐿 said in the video earlier on that he wanted to strike fear in the hearts of his opponents when they saw his name. Well, they're going to have to look way down the scoreboard to see his name on this map. That is a rare thing. And on the attack side, Tom, there's basically no hope. There's essentially no hope. An 11-1 comeback, Mini couldn't even make this happen.
Give him a ring. See what he says.
Salute.
Phone a friend? Yes. Or 50-50.
111. भाई ये अगर इन लोग ने कमबैक कर लिया, माँ कसम मजा आ जाएगा भाई. I know it's really hard, but not impossible, bro.
I wouldn't even.
You guys are 5 men, bro.
No, but here we go.
Don't be afraid. Just kill him.
It has not been a good start. Still, potential of a turnaround in the next match.
Let's go.
Maybe some life in this pistol round. They are going to be able to get off to a strong start. Less looking to find one back so clean.
No. 𝐒𝐿 क्या कर रहा है?
Careful not to let this one slip away. Already looking like it could happen. 𝐒𝐿 eventually will be able to
𝐒𝐿 alone.
He's very
भाई shit उसके बाजू में से गई गोली, देखा क्या वो वॉल बैग?
in a massively advantageous position though. An open plant that
कमेंटेटर की खुशी. हाँ ना.
Multiple positions. Actually, I think the cross maybe missed here. The headshot wasn't even needed, but
भाई ये ट्राई करेगा, ये जाएगा. अगर उसने एक निकाला तो वेरी डुएबल हो जाएगा. 50-50 चांसेस. इन लोग पीक ही नहीं करेंगे तो जीत जाएंगे. The guy is pushing. Okay. Time Smoggy निकालेगा. Oh! Nobody.
They've doubled their rounds. It's a consolation prize for the time being. Oh, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I want to actually
𝐒𝐿 क्या हुआ? माउस चेंज हो गया क्या?
Build into it on an individual level.
Like 𝐒𝐿 needs a warm up.
Yeah, exactly. This is basically.
इन लोग भी बोल रहे 𝐒𝐿 को वार्म अप चाहिए.
For his aim labs, like that's what I want to see. Just taking the time to sort of get themselves into a good position because they've come in cold and they've been shut
2-13 है भाई, मेरे जैसा जेट खेल रहा है.
Fantastic throughout this map. So I think even just a few rounds, getting themselves feeling more comfortable back on that stage, it could be a pretty big deal for the side of EDG. And in this round, as you can see, there's no real safety net. They're just going straight in with those rifles. 𝐒𝐿 won't be the one to invest.
देख रहे हो Saggy कैसे टोन कर रहा है? क्या टोन कर रहा है?
Giving away where this push is going to be coming in. The full force of Loud will be coming in on the rotation. A few upgraded pistols, but for ZOTAC, the only goal, slow them down and see if they can do a bit of damage.
4 बंदे उनके इधर.
What a round it would be to
पांचों है. पांचों है. Fuck. They're gonna take the fight.
Here is just to drop rifles, run that cost. Boy, giving 𝐒𝐿 that little boost of energy. He's playing with the outlaw, waiting for this wall to fall. I'll have some targets. Loud, very patient, but EDG are starting to make a read on this. There's a lot of players around here, some utility in play, and the spike is on its way back towards A, leading the charge by himself. It's a little concerning. If there was still a lurker around A, nobody would have I mean, he's 68 HP as well. He'd have a serious fight in his hands, but it looks like
पावन जिन क्रॉस कर गया है भाई.
Although actually the timing is kind of poor here as he goes through the wall. 𝐒𝐿
Oh
waiting.
shit,
Now the
bro.
spike's down.
Classic से पहल दिया.
Be retrieved. 𝐒𝐿's lurking around mid to catch those rotates, but he's going to be spotted in a second. In fact, spotted now. Now he's stuck. There's players swinging from all directions. Loud all of a sudden are in a 5v3. 12 seconds left as the spike is planted. At least they can breathe a sigh of
Now
relief.
उनको बस flood in करना है. इन लोग fight लेंगे.
Players pushing back in, haven't got big weapons. Even the kill they got on mid was just a sheriff, so nothing big retrieved.
Okay.
One's already fallen.
Got
Okay,
one.
EDG are starting to get their hands on the reins again.
2.
It's back under control.
Oh
it's
no,
not
man.
looking too scary, although a couple players are low. The time is ticking. Oh no, it's only one.
𝐒𝐿.
This is his chance. His aim labs, right? He just needs to hit a few shots and it's ZOTAC again.
𝐒𝐿.
Oh, 12 rounds for Loud and
रीड देख रहा ना.
probably wishing they could have just jumped to the next map. This is more demoralizing.
उनको पता था भाई कोई मिड से लर्कअप हो गया रहेगा, तो वो सोवा ने टाइमिंग निकाल लिया. वो क्रॉस कर गया ना और उसने क्लासिक से एक मारा, उधर ही गेम हो गया इनका.
They didn't force by that.
I think it was two ghosts and then classics, and I think they picked up the sheriff.
बहुत आइसोलेट होके खेल रहे हैं उन लोग, साथ में खेल रहे हैं.
2 more kills was picked up. He didn't
What's up, gang? Hey, what's up, man? On the machine.
didn't even buy that sheriff.
It's okay, 'cause
इसको देखो, सदाक को देखो भाई.
too, man. They're really good on
इतना
their
गंदा
opponent's map
परफॉर्मेंस
pick stop.
कांग का.
Yeah.
Bro, he will shine. Some happens भाई, सबके साथ होता है.
Odin is
भाई ओडिन चला दिया 3v3.
managed to get to. Maybe no, who are we even kidding? There's so much still that needs to be done.
They're getting stomped, yeah.
Still 3
I'm feeling
players standing
sad for them.
for either side. The early battles at least being even. I thought the Odin had a possibility. 𝐒𝐄𝐂, neither is
Loud is just better, man.
𝐒𝐿 is just
इन लोग डर के खेल
next
रहे
to
हैं.
both of them. They've all walked past. If anybody turns around, they're just going to see him sat on a perch. I
Yeah.
think there we go. Eventually goes down.
don't know the second
sRGB again
player.
has traded though. It's the
Hey,
players
good
with
trade.
the weapons. Still, that push up from 𝐒𝐿e and obviously the turret no longer online. As they do look to head in towards this A site. Wraparounds
सबका गंदा टाइम आता है भाई. ये फ्लैंक आ रहा है, खत्म. उनको पता है. They have read.
Buying extra time, even putting the wall up just to slow them
अगर इन
down
लोग
that
पुश
little bit
करते हैं ना
further.
तो इन लोग का गेम होगा.
To try and just give
अगर ये ओपन
opportunities
प्लांट करता है तो
to his
गया.
teammates.
यहाँ
This
नीचे
stage
प्लांट
you
करेगा
should
ना.
know
Okay,
exactly
planting
where
safe, nice.
These players are coming from the snake bite again just to make them that little bit weaker as 𝐒𝐿e continues his sneaky little
आया
play
भाई,
on the
आया.
back. His
एनाकोंडा
opponents
आया.
none the
सांप आ
wiser.
गए
He's
हैं.
gonna be right up behind them. First kill's free and he'll close it as well. It has been a map to forget for the side of
स्मॉगी
EDG.
बहुत टीयर.
as
अरे तो
Loud
उनका बंडल नहीं है ना.
one of the most
उनका खुद
dominant
का आएगा अभी.
the most dominant performance
मास्टर्स
we've
के
seen
बाद
in the
आएगा.
tournament so
इसके
far.
मैड्रिड खत्म होगा
One
नेक्स्ट
step
मंथ आएगा
away
शायद.
from making it to the top 4.
Nothing but smiles from ZOTAC up on that stage, and I'd be surprised if I saw anything else.
इसके लिए उसने वो बंडल लिया
EDG
है.
are good on their opponent's
See
map
that
picks.
sign?
No.
Okay, we're gonna toss it. I don't want to talk
कितना
about
easy
that.
ले गए.
Let the desk maybe
Next-
bring it
next map
down
उन लोग
after the
लेंगे.
break.
कम ऑन कांग बोल रहा रहेगा मैं अभी उठा के तुम लोग मेरे को खेल ले बेटा दे यार. नेक्स्ट गेम में जिता के दूंगा. नेक्स्ट गेम कांग जीताएगा भाई. आई डोंट नो, परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहा. प्लीज सैगी को ले लेते भाई, मैं उससे गंदा खेलता हूँ. मुझे नोटिफिकेशन आया कि टाइटल मिल गया, तो राइट में वो सबमिट करो. राइट सपोर्ट में टिकट सबमिट करो, उन लोग दे देंगे. उन लोग मांगेंगे स्क्रीनशॉट के, तुम्हारे ट्वीच का स्क्रीनशॉट जो कि तुमने क्लेम किया है, तो वो स्क्रीनशॉट लेके उनको वो कर देने का. सब टिकट के साथ भेजोगे ना, उसके बाद आएगा. कुछ ग्लिच हो गया, नहीं तो 1-2 दिन लगते. 1 दिन बाद मेरे को इस बार तुरंत आ गया, वरना मेरा हर बार हमेशा होता था. ट्विच ड्रॉप्स मेरे को आते ही नहीं थे. जैसा उस दिन पहले दिन मैंने क्लेम किया ना, इंस्टेंट आ गया भाई मेरे अकाउंट में. वरना इतना फास्ट कभी मेरे को इन लोग कुछ नहीं देते भाई. सिवाय गंदे टीममेट्स के मेरे को फास्टेस्ट चीज कभी कुछ मिली नहीं आज तक वैलोरेंट में. गुप्त रोग हो गया उसको. किसको भाई, क्या बातें कर रहे हो तुम लोग. लव थ्रिफ्टी आफ्टर लूजिंग पिस्टल विद क्लासिक्स. यप ब्रो, बहुत इजीली गया है ये. हट रही, टफ होना था भाई. मैं तो PRX के मैच का वेट कर रहा हूँ. फुल ऑन PRX, लेट्स गो PRX. कल का मैच अगर ये करता था ना मैं, इतना मजा आया था ना भाई. तुम जाके आज भी देखोगे ना, तुमको एंटरटेनमेंट मिलेगा कल का. PRX वर्सेस हेरेटिक्स, इतना मजा आया था ना वो गेम. मेरा केले का जूस पी लो, ठीक हो जाओगे. वाह भाई. आराम. ये रोमन एन का मतलब क्या होता है? कुछ तो होता है, मैंने पढ़ा था पर मैं भूल गया. PRX इसके सामने आ रहा था, आई डोंट नो. मैं हारी हुई वो सब गेम याद नहीं रखता. PRX EDG के सामने आ रहा था भाई. पर उन लोग थ्रो कर रहे थे भाई. PRX पेपर एक्स थ्रो कर रहा था. साले 3-3 डुलिस्ट लेके ऐसे बकचोदी कर रहे थे, ऐसा नहीं कि आराम से खेले। कल कैसा खेले भाई, कल एकदम आउट क्लास कर दिया सामने वालों को, खत्म ही कर दिया। हेरेक्टिक्स वाले बहुत अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं उन लोग, ऐसा नहीं है। बू, मिनी बू, बेंजी बहुत अच्छे प्लेयर थे उन लोग, पर कल उन लोग ने सामने से उंगली किया ना तो इन लोग गर्म हो गए। 4 सेकंड गर्म हो गया, वो सेट हो गया बंदा। 4 सेकंड गर्म हो गया मतलब खतर। #1 प्लेयर है अपने इधर, अपने पैसिफिक का। खाने जा रहा हूँ, खाना लेके बैठ भाई, इधर जा कहा रहा है, जा कहा रहे हो तुम? किससे पूछ के तुम यहाँ से जा रहे हो? हाँ, मैंने तुम्हें परमिशन दी नहीं तो तुम नहीं जा सकते। जाओ जाओ खा के आओ, जल्दी आओ, 1 मिनट बचा है। मैं मस्त खाना खा के आया। I will eat chips later. What the heck is going on with EDG? Feels like after Genji gameplay. हाँ, उन लोग का कॉन्फिडेंस चले गया भाई। EDG इतना बहुत अच्छा खेली थी उस दिन, जब PRX के सामने थी बहुत अच्छा खेली थी, तोड़ दिया था PRX को उन लोगों ने। पर ये लाउड के सामने डर रहे इन लोग, मेरे को लग रहा है वैसा। दे आर नॉट इन देयर बेस्ट फॉर्म। कांग इज नॉट इन हिज बेस्ट फॉर्म। हीलियोस 2 बोला है ना। हाँ, मेरे को लग रहा है डिसाइडर जाएगा इसमें। ये नेक्स्ट मैप में उन लोग भरेंगे बहुत, अगर कांग डरेगा नहीं तो।
Hey guys, I am here with SCK from Loud. Congratulations on that first map. Now the team has shared previously that this tournament is very challenging for them, but despite that, Loud has been very consistent with their energy.
SCK.
Who on the team contributes the most to keeping that energy up, especially for very important matches like this?
I think that Sagar is this guy. He always like have a smile on his face.
Sagar.
To cheer.
माइक बराबर है ना?
I'm a kind of this guy that always music and all of that.
You're hearing it right.
We have
What's
a
up?
jet lag, but the energy will be growing up because we like are happy to be here.
All right, well it certainly looks like that. He looks like a really happy guy. So let's see if Loud can close this out.
Well, they have plenty of reasons, Mika, to be happy, because after a 13-2 trouncing over the Chinese #1 seed, Loud show the world that they are very much here to play and maybe even here to stay. That was, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that was just straight up brutal.
I mean, what is going on with EDG? Back to back, they start a map with an 11-1 half against them. They crumbled in that Genji series. They show
क्या मटाओ, चल साल।
look like they are crumbling again.
Shit.
This is not the team we've come
तुम लोग साली ये देखने के लिए बैठते हो, मेरे को पता है भाई।
Yeah, definitely.
क्यूटी का फेस नहीं दिख रहा, मुझे तो दिख रहा है अच्छे से।
By the way, their pick was okay. We beat Genji on this map. Genji beat Loud.
बना दिया टिकट, नाइस। आ जाएगा, उन लोग रिस्पॉन्स करेंगे। within 24 आवर्स आ जाएगा रिस्पॉन्स। या तो तुमसे ये मांगेंगे, स्क्रीनशॉट मांगेंगे, या तो सीधा बोल देंगे चेक कर लो, आ जाएगा, थोड़े टाइम आ जाएगा, ऐसा बोल देंगे। यो वेट, सॉरी बैड। तुम लोग ने ये देखी नहीं क्या इन लोग को कभी? वीसीटी मैच नहीं देखते तुम लोग? मैं इतना वैलोरेंट देखता हूँ कि ये सब फेमिलियर फेसेस हो गए मेरे लिए।
He's shooting an operator at the camera. They're showmen when they're great, and right now they look completely deflated. But we do have to give Loud credit because they did still play a really good game.
छुट्टी देखना है भाई, हराम ज़्यादा।
I thought that ZOTAC was calling an absolutely stunning match.
Yeah, exactly. And we picked up a couple of good examples because Mimi, you're completely right. It's all about that mid-round calling. We know that both of the teams are very, very hard shooters, so it's only on fundamentals and actually.
Recently ECT देखने लगा भाई, इन लोग इतना फास्ट सब कुछ यूज करते हैं ना, तुम लोग को ज्यादा समझेगा नहीं। पहले ना नॉर्मल गेम समझना पड़ता है, मेरे को भी नहीं समझता था पहले जब मैं वीसीडी देखता था। फिर मैं ये प्रो प्लेयर्स को ये देखने लगा इंडिविजुअली, फिर मेरे को थोड़ा गेम सेंस आया, फिर मेरे को देखने में मजा आने लगा। वरना पहले मैं ऐसे देखता था, क्या खेल रहे हैं लोग, फटफट जा रहे, ट्रेड हो रहे, कुछ समझता नहीं था। नाउ आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग। इन लोगों को इतना एफपीएस भाई जितना मैक्स रहता रहेगा उतना एफपीएस इन लोग का आता रहेगा इनकी सिस्टम्स पे। नहीं टेंस ने अरे टेंस ने बोला था एफपीएस नहीं आ रहे थे, टेंस ने बोला था, टेंस ने ट्वीट किया था कि उनके सिस्टम में अगर तुम रिजोल्यूशन कम करोगे ना तो शायद एफपीएस आए बेटर, कि स्टडर होता है, एफपीएस ड्रॉप हो रहे थे।
And we'll continue the conversation regarding EDG. You know, something that I thought I would never see as I'm looking through the stats. You know, because obviously we're looking at Chichu here, but Kong, 4 frags total. Like the whole map, which is like heartbreaking because and you would see him on screen here and there. It didn't feel like his aim was aligned there. Like it wasn't like
you know,
big battles. No, it
honestly just felt like
exactly not many things were working on the side.
मैं बोलूं और मैं ना आऊं ऐसा नहीं होगा।
Again, and I repeat, this is the map that they
मैं नहीं आऊंगा तो मैं भूल के जाता हूं नहीं आ रहा।
theoretically Loud is going to be more comfortable in.
Yeah, and honestly
बुरा लगा यार, कांग 4 किल मारा रे। इन लोग वापस, इन लोग ना जले पे नमक छिड़कते, बेचारा खेल नहीं पाया। आई कांट बिलीव कांग ने सिर्फ 4 किल मारे। हाँ रे ऐसे बोल के बता रहे दुनिया को।
And he was out there, he was being set up beautifully, and he was dominating Kong in the opening kills. But you're right, Bea.
कांग को फिर से गंजा होना पड़ेगा पुराने फॉर्म में आने के लिए। बालों ने उसका गेम सेंस चूज किया है, बालों की वजह से उसको बॉल्ड बफ की जरूरत है।
Yeah, probably they run out of fuel maybe too soon in the tournament. We were talking about, is Loud top notch right now? Are they going to be, you know, are they really up there to be the winners of the tournament? EDG right now is not looking like a fair.
कांग पहले डरता नहीं था, अब वो डरने लगा। वो हर एक पर सेकंड स्विंग करता था वो बंदा। लाइक उसका गेम प्ले याद करना, पिछला कोई भी गेम प्ले स्विंग करता था, किल लेता था, स्विंग करता था, किल लेता था, उसका गेम प्ले। इस बार वो स्विंग भी जैसे तैसे कर रहा है डर डर के, उसका कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है उसमें।
Are getting even harder for EDG.
किया ना, मर गया ऑफ लेके।
Here comes the agent select, and you know we're getting ready here for some
live sports से live esports का सफर।
He's going to be rocking that Phoenix. He's going to get right in the face of his opponents as much as he can.
Yeah, the biggest goals of Loud's comp on the defense is extremity control. With that breach, multitude of flashes, they're really good at holding down space in the mains, in fighting forward against EDG. They don't have that same initiator power to fight back in. So for EDG, I think this attack side is about getting mid control, baiting out util, going for these late round hits if they want to win. But that's all out the window.
100% win ratio उनका।
Confidence. EDG need to remember who they are. They're the team who's been dominating in China, who comes to international events and beats the best.
और ये लोग 3 बार खेले।
Absolutely
Sunset और उन लोग एक ही बार खेले।
Go out with a whimper. This team needs to remember why they're great.
And watch out because Loud might have the read onto them. We know that EDG likes to play it slow, likes to play it with time, but Loud with this composition and with that first map that they gave us, they want to take it all and make it into playoffs.
Is this how it ends for EDG? Will Loud push forward into the playoffs? Let's find out.
ना I have feeling कि उन लोग मारेंगे इस बार Loud को।
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, and our wonderful analyst desk, Tom. As we move into this next one, you know, I pity our analysts for having to look at that last one and break it down because it's tough to be nice to EDG after that. It was a really rough showing on their map pick, but the promise, good on their opponent's map picks. Tom, you opened up the series by saying that. I hope to God you're right.
Well, that's the thing. We now have to do what EDG did and forget that ever happened and move straight on. And Loud, they run quite an explosive. Picking it up on this defensive side, you can expect aggression, you can expect pressure.
हाँ भाई EDG हार जाएगा।
And basically,
बहुत गंदा हारेगा।
to forget that has been a rough performance. Boombot gone, shock dart counted.
30-0 हो जाएगा देखो।
Looking for the split straight through into mid. And still though, there are plenty of players from Loud around these angles. 𝐒𝐄𝐂 already, as said, was looking good on the last map. Looking to try and take control. And it's less than Howdong with the first couple, but Loud will come out on top.
Still a bit of a struggle.
अरे क्या कर रहे
हैं?
हैं?
And Spike dropped everybody.
अरे क्या कर
रहे
हैं?
And it's only Kong left. He's fired off to find 𝐒𝐿 the first, but a double peek quickly secures the round for Loud. And that's another pistol underneath Loud's control. All 3 so far have gone to them. For EDG, it's going to be a minute before they can heat back up. They're down to pistols.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice for them
Replay
to
दिखाएंगे इन
get
लोग।
a good start on this map. Try and as said, forget what happened.
Let's का shot देखो भाई.
It's always difficult when Loud play the way they do. Like,
Hey Mario AJ, what's up?
Dedication to just being wary of where 𝐒𝐄𝐂 is going to be, because he could be everywhere. Like, the fact is, he is going to pressure all over the map. He's going to have supportive utility from 𝐒𝐿 and Z.
उन लोग बहुत साथ में खेल रहे हो भाई. EDG को कभी साथ में पिक करते हुए देखो अच्छे से.
So I feel like EDG are going to have to play their defaults well, and in the last round particularly, losing B main like that and having no way in, that was definitely a problem.
Immediate spams through the smoke. Well, Howdong's definitely going to short that stick. Les has been tagged up a little bit.
Let's go.
Down. Okay, EDG, they've got a little bit of punch packed in this one. For the defensive side, they've lost full mid control. So it's time to go walk. A side is under threat from behind, so they're going to secure the front. 𝐒𝐿's already made it past, but the timing is key, and he's picked his angle, picked the right angle indeed, although the shots don't land, the flash in hand, and it almost cost him his life, but the timing was good. With Howdong down, the heal can be found by 𝐒𝐿, and he's out of there actually. He's just going to give up the control entirely.
Yeah, not wanting to try and stick around versus
Yeah, you know,
the thing is, though, the B site is under the control of their opponents. They don't really have the cipher that we've seen from many others, from 𝐒𝐿 on the other side, that gives them that extra bit of information. We've seen a lot of teams really utilize the cipher on this map. Less though.
Wow, what a clear, man.
ज़िंदगी में clear ना करूँ मैं वो angle. Look at the rest of the weaponry that's available for EDG, and it definitely isn't pretty. Even an extra kill or two though in this post plant could be huge.
Well, this is it, especially with the plant spot, right? Like, this is all about
Viper और बेसन ने खत्म.
Two classics. Not
So what जमा?
the best at times. Nobody know where to go.
Oh,
nice. With 𝐒𝐿 on another, now there's a real chance for damage. Shock dart close. And
oh भाई, doable. अब doable है. एक flash है.
Might not even be able to win this anymore. If he does, it's going to be at a heavy cost.
क्या निकाला वे? अगर वो सोवा मर जाता था ना वो टाइम पे, उसने क्लासिक से मार दिया. That's the round. Nobody ने मारा भाई. अब मजा आ रहा है भाई. वन हो गया. Let's go.
Just the goal to just sit in a snake bite and then peek after the two pulses. That's one of the few moments you're going to see an aftershock, like the change they took from 3 pulses to 2.
ये kill important था, ये वाला kill.
Because otherwise he is dead.
Just about made it out with his life. Hit the shots.
कांग chill है.
Shock darts finding them. A player swinging who's got a fully auto rifle when you're so low. Just didn't matter.
Let's go,
EDG
Kang.
got their early start. This is what we wanted to see. I thought we weren't seeing it
They broke
with
the
the
game.
pistol. The smile on my face. As Loud now have the weaker weapons, and EDG will face
अरे ये Kang is back.
Kang straight around that angle, and Les, one of the major dangers, is already being dropped. Both rifles that Loud have are now on the floor.
This is a confident looking Kang. Was already looking.
Yes, Kang बोला.
Missing in the last map, and he did
Kang बोलते छठी खोलते इसको ही भरेंगे. जाके मारेंगे देख. नहीं? क्या रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे इतना?
This round decimating less. 2Es now.
2 बंदे लो है इसके लिए.
Getting a kill, getting anything, make things more costly. They know exactly where he is. Now, not shooting it might bait the idea that he's round the corner, but
Kang 4K.
he's making sure he's not giving.
पिछले गेम का एक ही बार में कर दिया भाई. पिछले गेम के लिए राउंड में ही कर दिया उसने.
Well, they lost the pistol. They're 2-1 up, and they've got a showstopper on.
ज़्यादा मत बोल. मन में खुश हो जा. ठीक है भाई.
On the previous map, a player that is really the reason that people are believing in this squad being able to pull it across the line, because he's been so strong this tournament, and I was terrified. If he didn't show up here, the game was already over. But very early on, we found out that he's here to play, and round number 4 is going to see a full buy for both squads. I'll run it back online.
Okay, he's insta-popped the showstopper. Again, this just has to be a moment for Loud where they just give up the site. Almost played straight into the retake. He's garnered quite a bit of space, but because he's
अरे देख क्यों रहा है इस पे? भाई.
actually haven't managed to get into an after-plant position.
इनका स्मोकर थोड़ा गांडू है क्या?
Trying to sell the idea that this was a ruse. I like this from EDG.
Okay.
Breaking the door, and I felt like this is putting in some real hesitation.
उन लोग साइड ले सकते थे पर उनको लोग रीटेक खेल लेते.
They've seen absolutely nothing on A after your opponent bursts a showstopper into the elbow. This is a really This must be a
उनका सोआ क्लियर करना आ रहा है. सोआ गया.
patiently waiting. Timing going to be everything. I think Sadak caught a
Nah.
glimpse though.
Sadak.
Saw one. He might have seen two.
Okay.
Decent shock dart as well. Some damage.
Same ही हो ना. थोड़ा जल्दी होता था.
They will make the A
Cypher Jama.
with QCK securing mid.
Now they can
Now
come
looking
flank.
to move forward. This is where I expect to run it back, and indeed, it's already popped. He's on his way through. Peek is good for some damage. QCK focused on the site, gets dropped eventually, but he's back in the fight now.
Kang 6 bullet.
𝐒𝐿𝐒, who's just burned the ball as util. You know, that flash didn't manage to root anyone
Bhai.
out of position. Molly certainly has. They're all low and, well, sat around the same position. Just nobody who's up on full. He's the first to swing.
Okay, 2 उधर है. तीनों उधर है. जीत गए.
Quite a bit of control for himself. The plant still
अभी तक plant नहीं किया.
15 seconds. They need to find a safe haven to get that done, and it's the corner up close. Nobody has to hold strong with him down. The round is already done. You'd imagine. Come on, there we go.
Yeah, I saw Sadak on 1 HP, and there was a moment that maybe there was some belief, but
yeah,
a very odd round. Like, I don't mind the ideas from EDG, like the start, if that was the game plan, because they take so much control with the showstopper. Okay, that's fine. Then
Sadak 1 HP था, literally.
Put some doubt in the minds of their opponents. But then they don't really take that space, and they take so long to get into an afterplant position and lose the battles in mid. That was one of the major detriments to the round, was that
हाँ वही मिड पे साइफर मारा ना उधर ही गेम हुआ. बोला ना मैं. उन लोग पूरा मिड कंट्रोल किया तो फ्लैंक भी आएंगे.
Ultimately the round doesn't go their way. Now luckily, as we've
उन
mentioned,
लोग सिटी स्टक हो गए. उनको प्लांट कर देना था पीछे किधर.
Yeah, there's no struggles whatsoever. But the side of EDG, even Hunter's Fury online to work with. Something to fall back on. Close to getting a null command as well.
I want show.
Well, he might have his by the end of the round.
क्या
We'll see
सोचे
if that has
तू?
any impact. Round 5 starts off with a spray, and 𝐒𝐿𝐒 getting put in his place by
कांग भाई क्या नसीब है भाई तुम्हारा एकदम मेरे जैसा नसीब है.
smoke, but an angle that's going to be very frequently spammed.
ऐसा गोली किधर भी मारो मेरे को ही लगता है वैसा है.
again, now Loud are able to fall back into these more passive positions. 2E's about to be put under pressure, but the fact is he'll probably just fall back off of this, call for some rotations, and you can see Loud are starting to group up together to potentially make a play back into mid. Now this is being watched by 𝐒𝐿𝐒, and because of that they are just going to have to fall back. 𝐒𝐿𝐒 potentially wanting to try and find some sort of trade, but in the meantime they have again completely given up this A site. But as we've already witnessed, Loud are very happy to go for the retake.
Might be one player shy. 𝐒𝐿𝐒 was patient. An angle that was checked before many times by Loud on the way back through, but they decided to leave it open this time. That's going to delay the rotates to A, and even allow EDG to get into position on those plans. Although 𝐒𝐿𝐒 might not be there to help them out, I don't think he's expecting QCK to be quite that close. And we'll take him out of the retake.
क्या फॉरवर्ड जाके बेटा है बंदा.
For the squad of EDG to bunker down. They don't know where these players from the side of Loud are. I mean, again, QCK is on the other side of the universe.
The paranoia.
Oh, he's perfect. They tackled it the right way, but there's no one to follow up on it. There's no one there. QCK is caught. Okay, 𝐿𝐒𝐿𝐒's in a good position, only the one to be found. They know where 𝐒𝐿𝐒 is, so they're holding the angle. Clean as can be. Nobody, though, still holding strong. He sees the shot, he can't get the arrow off. Or the bullets either. Couldn't decide. 3 rounds for Loud.
Yeah,
I want op show, operator show.
I thought for a moment
निकालेगा तू ना. डिफेंस में करेगा शायद. कर सकता है अटैक में लोग स्लो खेलेंगे तो.
Wasn't quite placed out. Well, it was placed well, but there wasn't anybody to actually capitalize off it. And then in the end, it just came down to some slightly shaky fights. The Hunter's Fury as well, close to being devastating, but close is not going to win you these rounds. Still, though, EDG are going to be able to bounce back once again. They still have the finances available to them to invest in this round. Now the A site, they've been able to get into the post plants. I actually think a lot of their problems right now is the fact that they are trying to play the map. So
भाई ये दूसरा गेम मैं आराम से देखूंगा बैठ के.
Quite a lot of opportunities.
इसके बाद मैं स्ट्रीम ही बंद करता हूँ.
But they always have a deficit by the time they get there.
You know, when you think about how those retakes were established for Loud, 30 seconds before Spike goes down, you have players being dropped, you have QCK miles out of position, even caught on the rotate as well. Despite that, they're still able to get a good stranglehold over the site. You can see why they're confident on the retake game. Now EDG, this time focus on B, but there's a flank.
भाई उन लोग देख कितने कॉन्फिडेंस है भाई, कॉन्फिडेंट है, आप पूछी कर रहे हो उस पे.
Way out this time. Stun was good, and they're closing the distance with a Phoenix flash soon around the corner. And she's in so much trouble. But in the meantime, the spike's being planted, so Loud again have to go for the retake. But as we've said, they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they've done really well to isolate the flank every single time. 𝐒𝐿
क्या सिस्टमेटिक खेल रहे हैं उन लोग. पैरों में फ्लैश किया. What the फ्लिक मारा उसने. Oh!
But again, it comes down to one. Nobody already spawning the first. Just looking to try and wrap back around into that 1v1. The dart should reveal the player on the spike. Knows exactly where Sadak is. I'm waiting for him to try and tap that. It's going to come down to one.
Sadak better, man.
Is a safe pair of hands once again. Loud will convert a fourth round into their favor.
Close round.
It's close, but no Sagar.
Sadak's been leading by example in so many of these rounds. Big one for him to close out.
क्या यार.
Given them a pretty good lead.
अपना राउंड था ये.
I expect EDG to take a much lighter buy.
ये देखो पूरा घूम के मारा उसने.
On the way back in.
ये फिर से फ्लिक मारा है.
This squad, when they have disadvantages, they're able to fight their way through. With the advantages, it got close this time. They're still winning those clutches, and that's all they need. And the weakness is actually
Sadak बहुत hate करता है उनसे रे.
They're going for all light shields, which is allowing them 4 rifles to play with.
पर उतना नहीं कि उनको उंगली करके लड़ाई करे कल जैसा.
To this buy from the attackers.
हर बार ऑर्ब ले रहे.
That's the major deficit that they have already, getting the run it back online. Hunter's Fury, again, they look perfectly set up if they end up in a retake. And that's what Loud have been playing for in these rounds. Good start, though. Getting rid of 𝐒𝐿𝐒 and also getting rid of a boatload of utility. And EDG are not going to just run off the back of that entry kill. You could see a fast rotation in from Sadak.
मैं भी करता हूँ. क्या?
They're looking to fall back to the other side of the map.
I know exactly where you are.
I mean, we've seen this a couple of times from EDG. Now with a little bit more information to play with, they're still seeing that these positions are being held, and
उनको पता B जा रहे हैं.
up on A to try to seize this space. That's not the play this time, and it's red on the
Mid
other
पूरा
side.
खाली.
He sees that. He wants to take the space for himself. A very late flank. 35 seconds left on the clock while he's creeping up elbow. We see the B site under heavy threat. Last in the corner. He hasn't been pushed out of it, but now he's being spotted. This could spell danger. Nobody being tracked. And he's down low. So is 𝐿𝐿. Everybody, in fact, has seen their fair share of combat. 𝐿𝐿, though, wants to take down last. Force forward.
भाई.
𝐿𝐿 was waiting. A quick double for
क्या क्रम्बल हो रहे इन लोग.
in fact, and it looks like it's all sealed.
अल्ट भी कर दिया.
Even popped the ulti as well. He's running it back. Taking down Smuggy. Little showmanship.
अच्छा हेट करता है.
Yeah, they look like they're right back in the driver's seat.
तू तो मेरे से भी हेट करता है, बस उसमें कोई नई बात नहीं है भाई.
But 4 rounds in a row once again.
नई बात बता
कुछ. Superior so far throughout
हिटर साला भाई.
The funny thing is on the entry you watch both.
भाई कैसे हार सकते हैं ये वाला.
The second it comes back online.
वो वनरेबल होके स्मोक के थ्रू पीक कर रहा है क्योंकि उसका रीलोड हो गया. ऑफ कोर्स उनके बंदे कवर दे रहे ब्रो. How would you swing that?
Well, I think that's also part of it. You have Les in the corner firing with his rifle, letting them know he's there.
Oh my god.
He throws the snake bite player.
Mid push देखो उन लोग का.
As soon as the second one's fired, he's running at him to punish him. But not able to. Not when 𝐿𝐿 is there. Quick shut down to this round.
Eco round है.
Fast kills. 𝐒𝐿𝐒 right down on mid.
मुझे नींद आ रहा है भाई. काफी
काफी
बोरिंग हो गया. ब्लाइंड हो गया. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 भाई ने लर्क कर लिया है.
I got B, guys. I've got B.
On the upside,
B is clear.
They've kept their credits for the next
Team
round.
Liquid.
That's I think they're pretty thankful for that now.
Yeah, he had one hero rifle to try and do some damage, and the worst thing is that
𝐒𝐿𝐿 Nets का fan है.
He must have pushed through behind.
Oh! Oh!
They need a whole lot more, but somehow Sadak, even when he doesn't have his gun in hand,
Shots, man, shots.
still manages to just.
That's why you are on this stage, man.
6-2. It's a little bit more costly than maybe it should have been, but I don't think Loud are going to care. An operator in hand in EDG.
So fully blind, bhai.
Back on Icebox again. 5 rounds in a row, a pause taken, and the coaching staff once again given a chance to try and stem the bleeding.
कंकांग समझा रहा है उनको ये करो
At
करके।
least there's already been a bit more promise to this attack side, though. When we saw this pause come in early
एम डिप
on Icebox, it definitely felt like it was.
एम अच्छा है इनका भाई,
And it proved
बस
to
उन
be
लोग का
once the
कॉन्फिडेंस
map went
कम है
on.
मेरे
Loud
हिसाब से,
had them.
पर अभी तो वो आ गया है, कांकांग भी खेलने
This
लग
time
गया है।
around, EDG can't afford to have that happen again, but there's a major difference, which is that Concon is online. I think now they've sharpened their weapon from the last map. They just need to find the crack in that armor to take these players down. There's not been too many weaknesses.
हाँ, कांकांग
in this
होता है,
series.
हाँ।
They've only lost 4 rounds so far.
होता है
Their
ऐसे।
retakes on the A side have been sublime, so much so that they were pretty happy to actually give it up, and then their hold on the B
याद
side with
रखना
less at the
2-0
back of it.
2-0 होएगा ना तो मैं स्ट्रीम
He's
बंद
only
कर
there
दूंगा
for
और
3 kills,
PRX का
but
मैच
it's
एकदम
just the
सुमड़ी में
counter
देखूंगा
utility
मैं।
that comes out, 2E's the support that's there, and then obviously at times 𝐒𝐄𝐂 just taking that aggressive push, and as we've said throughout this
मस्त कुछ
tournament,
खाना
he has
लेके
been
आके।
one of those players that's under the microscope. He's replacing big shoes, whether that player didn't make it to this event or not. He's a talking
अगर ये
point,
मैप
and in the
गया
last 2
OT
maps, honestly, he's been
और
sublime. He has been a nuisance
अभी
for
ये मैप हम
EDG
लोग
to deal
जीतेंगे
with
तो
top of
तो
the board right
निकालूंगा।
now. Here we go. EDG
Hello?
with an investment, rifles onto the board. As
ना
said,
बाहर नहीं आना।
Insight has been a good place for them to get in.
घरे तू
The
तेज
problem
है।
is, the retakes from Loud have been on point.
This is it, Tom. Like, you know, Tui's posted on this angle up in hand. Game hasn't really got started for EDG yet. An opportunity to claim this A side as their own, and oh no, right away. The timing is found, the space is taken, and Tui's is right back out of there.
Why support EDG? I don't know.
Set up again for another.
क्यों भाई, मेरे को कांकांग अच्छा लगता है, तू क्या कर लेगा? भाई वो प्ले अभी फॉर्म में नहीं चल रहा वो बंदा। मैं तो भाई मेरे PRX को सपोर्ट कर रहा था जब EDG वर्सेस PRX था। आई एम रियल PRX सपोर्टर। बाकी ये सब इन लोग हारे जीते अपने को उतना नहीं है, पर PRX हारता है तो दुख होता है।
So they're already there, just
पर इसमें मेरे को कांकांग अच्छा लगता था। I want him to make some plays, bro.
desperately hoping to try and find something, but you expect it
Yeah,
to be
man.
searched for, and it may not even be needed. The flash from 𝐒𝐄𝐂 is also just perfect.
एकदम मेरे जैसा फिनिक्स खेल रहा है।
And they're waiting. Les is just watching. He
Oh,
knows that 𝐒𝐄𝐂's
okay.
eventually going to try and make his move. The fact is, Loud at this point are just
Then
reading the
angry on
script.
EDG.
A paranoia into the back. The blinded player
Right.
Molotov to next step into. This is all just
बेचारा भाई
perfect. Loud can do no
स्मोगी के लिए बुरा लगा।
to wipe the entire squad, and 𝐒𝐄𝐂 is instant on the
स्मोगी
train.
के लिए बुरा लगा।
Running a clinic on EDG at the moment. Just fantastic from Loud.
Run it back, and Viper's pit online for next 2 away.
पता है इन लोग को बहुत इजी लग रहा है।
With 7 rounds on the board. And near no promise for the side of EDG to get back into this series. The door
उसको गन
is
दिख गया।
being shut on
क्या
the
शॉट
top.
मारा।
And I mean,
so
like every single piece of this replay is so good. You mentioned the push-up on B main. It gave them a little bit of information. But from there, the rotate comes in. Les leaves B main, moves to mid, waits for the lurk. I mean, if they had the coach's notes in front of them, they still couldn't predict it that well, mainly because I don't think they'd be able to read
जब PRX के अगेंस्ट खेले थे वैसा खेलो ना, क्या कर रहे हैं?
You never know. They're a team of many talents at this stage. 2E's maybe in a little bit more trouble than we've seen before as they look to put the
Boombo
pressure
ढक गया।
much faster. I don't mind this approach from EDG. The fact is, a lot of the time,
Then angry on EDG, क्यों?
this control by Loud, they're already going to spot the ZOTAC is here early. Again, though, when you have a run it back in play, you're more than happy to just go for a retake.
कांकांग जमा।
Hunter's Fury thrown out.
नहीं अपना।
Nobody just desperately trying to find an opening.
ये तो अपना है।
One of the things
Okay.
that EDG have
सदक टैग हो गया।
almost every single round after shock and
भाई भाई बहुत गंदे इन लोग रे। आफ्टर शॉक मारा और स्पैम मारा उसने।
Set up to try and play 𝐒𝐄𝐂 into position. They're watching for it, but he still takes down Concon. That advantage was never had. The spam.
PRX को पिचक दिया था। PRX सेकंड जैसा खेले थे वैसा खेलेंगे ना।
They're cleaning house. Loud making this look so easy. Another flawless round to make it 8-2.
फ्लॉलेस ही हो रहा है भाई।
It's a hard one to find hope in.
वैसा वो फॉर्म नहीं है इनका भाई, इन लोग खेलते हैं अच्छा, पर आज हग रहे, डर के खेल रहे लाउड से, पता नहीं क्यों।
Oh hell yes!
If they they keep playing like this, they're back in contention because that's been.
But I like आसपास ऐसे duelist.
shaky.
इन लोग की टीम में नहीं है बराबर.
Is they've not looked bad, but they've not looked like Loud.
Yeah.
This is looking like Loud. This is looking like a champions winner. This is looking like a team that have been at many events before.
They have looked like Loud. They've just looked like Loud at a Masters event, not Loud at any other event. But now, finally,
Cypher को पेल दिया है.
At a Masters, be able to put up numbers. One map already secured.
Yeah.
More than halfway to getting this one. And EDG, they haven't even got off the starting point. 2 rounds on their
Alt करने वाले spot करके वाह.
Already lost to start this, and it's 𝐒𝐄𝐂. This is why you're going to see those breaks pumped way down. They have to watch B, they have to watch A pushes, and with those extremities being watched, there's only one man you're going to rely on to try to punch through this defense. It was 𝐶𝐂𝐿 sent through for spams, finds nothing. They are just looking for an opportunity right now.
Do you know, I wonder if, like, Genji said they're going, well, we can't play them again, right? Because we already played them. And then Senna going, well, they're from our region, so we can't play them again, right? It's just like, both seeing who can make the better excuse as to why they don't want to play Loud, because I wouldn't want to face them. Of all the teams we're seeing, look to make it to the playoffs.
𝐶𝐿.
Now a gap,
Jama.
well, it was left for a millisecond. ZOTAC, I think there might have even been a flicker of a knife in his head for just a moment. 30 seconds. They have no map control. They are just looking to take it to the elbow. The flash, perfect. He hasn't killed anyone yet, but 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐂, he just slaughtered every member remaining of EDG. Any questions that were being asked of this man now? Gone. Gone. 18-5. He's had a field day on the defensive side. Phoenix.
We've talked a little bit about him struggling to break through to sites at the entry role, but I'm not even sure what role I'd call this. He's just shooting people. He's
पता नहीं इन लोग क्यों ऐसा खेल रहे हैं यार. उन लोग भी अच्छा ही खेलते हैं.
9-2. EDG, one last chance to put a round on the board here on the attacking side. Make it 9-3 at the half. It's not a lot of hope, but it's a damn side better than what they'll be facing otherwise. Coming into it, they're up against a Viper's Pit. They're up against a Rolling Thunder. As well as just what Loud have been bringing to the table.
Let's actually use the Viper's Pit the whole half. I think he just used it now because he was like, oh.
I think that is the first time. I mean, when did they use it? No, exactly. Unless you're going to lock down B main, which again hasn't really.
इन लोगों को समझ नहीं आ रहा. नहीं उन लोग ना रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे ज़्यादा. उनके पास भी एम है, ऐसा नहीं है.
Zero pressure from this squad.
You know the little like challenges you get. He's just like.
पूरा मैप कंट्रोल भी नहीं रहता कभी-कभी. देखिए उनका साइफर ही पहले जमा हो जाता है. पिछले गेम यही हुआ ना.
To get my points.
He's trying to complete the battle pass, guys. Come on.
I mean,
okay.
Ambitious.
उड़ा रहा है ये.
The Rolling Thunder on the back of the reveal. This is going to be big. That's caught quite a lot of players, even towards elbow. It's keeping 𝐶𝐿𝐿 in position. The ult was used. 𝐒𝐿𝐄𝐂 can be revived. So Loud might want to compete for mid control. Maybe this can work out for EDG to force another fight. Instead, 𝐶𝐿𝐿 wants to try to get a little angle. He's got a spam on it, but he's traded out. That's what EDG wanted. The man advantage sits in their favor.
Man advantage हो गया. 𝐶𝐿𝐿. देखो 𝐶𝐿𝐿 दे देगा इसे.
ZOTAC needs to be careful here. He's playing a risky game up against 𝐶𝐿𝐿. The flank is underway as well.
वो टाइमिंग मिला इसको. पर छोड़ दे रहा है.
The thing is, it might actually end up banned from. I think the steps will be heard, so he should be able to catch 𝐒𝐿𝐄 this time.
ZOTAC can stop it.
He's been expected.
Nice.
Still, it's looking like they might finally get another round. Not quite
Holy
for ZOTAC, and now it's left on to less.
Nice.
Finally, after a long hiatus from the board, we do see another round, the last round of the half.
Loud को पकड़ नहीं पा रहा.
EDG. But let's be real,
कर सकते हैं. 9-3. Let's go.
A pleasant outing for them.
No, it absolutely has. EDG coming up against Loud. I think we were all expecting this to be a close one.
𝐒𝐿𝐄 कैसे revive हुआ उनका?
This tournament so far, the Paper X game for God's sake. But here is Loud, a team we talked about being on weakened form, and they've got 9 rounds set to close this series out 2-0. EDG need a lot of hope. I'm not the one to find it. Maybe we can hear some words of encouragement from Haodong after his last game.
फिर मुंह खोला. अरे 2-0 होने वाला. तूने बोल दिया ना. तूने भी तो खोला है मुंह. अकेला मैंने नहीं बोला.
他们打东西一直是一成不变的吧，我个人感觉是这样的。但是其实今天的失败的更多原因是来源于我们自身吧。 应对的方式很简单，首先我觉得失利首先是从游戏内容吧，先从游戏内容里面抓问题，然后再从游戏外面再抓心态上面的问题。我们队伍其实大家都会互相承担一些问题吧，然后我觉得我们队伍不会出现一场失败就把别人击垮的这种人。
ये कांकांग कहाँ है?
Now operator in hand, dash online, blade storm in the back pocket, and he's making his way forward. He's making
ये वाला कांकांग दिखा ही नहीं भाई.
每次打世界赛吧，大家本身抱有的心态就是，这其实是最后一次世界赛，大家每次都是带着这种心态来的，包括下一场比赛，还有包括昨天对阵 PaperX 的比赛，其实都是一个最后一次世界赛。我想说就是。可能在职业选手这整个职业生涯里面，可能会打很多次世界赛。包括
भाई ये टीम
我们其实
टीम को ये नहीं बोल सकता कि ये हारेंगे जीतेंगे ऐसा काली जुबान हो जाती है वो हीलियोस को लगता है मेरी जुबान काली है तो मैं जो बोलूंगा ना उसका उल्टा होएगा ऐसा है तो मैं अभी ये बोल रहा हूँ कि हीलियोस लाल सुपर चैट नहीं करेगा तो वो करेगा ऐसा
Well, learning from defeat for EDG, they'll certainly have a lot to learn from this series so far, Tom. But it's not a defeat yet. 9-3.
They're so good, but they're so toxic. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
जा रहा हूँ भाई मैं अगर ये 2-0 हो रहा है मैं जा रहा हूँ. Team बंद.
A quick 2-0. I like it. I like it.
They master of puns.
Especially because he's
इसके ऊपर राव का दूर से ADG जीतेगा.
A quick one. That would have been good as well, but it's fine.
ADG जीतेगा यार. अरे कांकांग फॉर्म में नहीं चल रहा वरना जीत जाता. भाई देख रिस्पेक्ट देख. उन लोग को पता है कि रीटेक करना है. उन लोग पूरा साइड ऐसे भागते ले रहे देख. लाउड के मूवमेंट्स देख उन लोग ऐसे भागते साइड ले रहे हैं. इस बार उन पे मैप कंट्रोल है. One में बना दिया. They are gonna push.
A lot of promise on the loud retakes, like you said. EDG look to capture some of that magic. Smokes are down. The retake's underway. Flank spotted as well. Loud have a good idea of exactly what EDG are trying to do. The crunch comes in and they're ready. Con dropped right away, but a quick fight back. EDG still has some life in them with Smoggy picking up another. It's down to a 2v2, but QCK stands strong. Nice shot by Smoggy.
What?
With the molly at his feet. Too hot to handle. 10 rounds for Loud.
He's looking like a different beast.
Like,
genuinely. This QCK is someone that
10-3.
Was
not looking good, man.
That's the thing at this point.
21-6 है वो बंदा देख. केडी देखो उसका.
And if he goes, yeah, he's good to go. We've just got to believe it. It wouldn't matter who it is at this point. I think he could bring back some like 40-year-old FPS.
That guy is farming through smokes. 2 बुलेट लगी और वाली से जल के मर गया.
Yes, player.
QCK का किल देखो भाई 21-6. Phoenix. He's playing Phoenix.
Wow, toxic. I believe in you, Lothar. Here we go. 10-3. This flash.
Sir.
Well, plays. 𝐒𝐿𝐒's just taking down the 2 players who were lined up ready. QCK is looking to try and heal himself back up. Bear in mind, Konkan has actually invested.
इली जीता मैं दूंगा भाई रहने दो भाई मत दो.
An interesting one. I didn't expect to see a Spectre light shields.
10-3 चल रहा है EDG. कमबैक कर सकती है उन लोग पर उनको खेलना पड़ेगा अच्छे से.
Not even that. A hero Spectre.
Yeah, whipping man.
Said, and well, I understand what he was going for there, trying to hit a timing on the player droning, but it's safe to say, ZOTAC had friends waiting by.
अब ये उन लोग को OT के लिए खेलना है.
Going to Loud. Again and again. This time, though, they're able to build on the back of it. This is the real tragic thing. Just look at the timeline there. Round 2 and 3 went to EDG. They upset them on that second round. I even remember, Tom.
ये last match है क्या? नहीं. हाँ मतलब 2-0 हो जाएगा तो उसके बाद PRX का मैच है.
Here we are. And for EDG, you know, there's a lot to talk
Sunset
about
match
in
जीता
the
हुआ
previous
देख.
games. In this one, though, 5 rounds across the series so far.
3 मैच होते
Loud have just had
अगर दोनों टीम एक एक जीते तो तीसरा मैच जाता है. एक टीम 2 मैच जीत जाए तो 2 में खत्म हो जाएगा 2-0 और फाइनल्स में 5 मैच होते हैं.
The man winning those opening duels doesn't change. He's taken damage and now finally dropped. Kankan's made it out a lot. Kawanzin's dead. To the net,
Wow.
he just stood in it. Smoggy's
Kankan ने
taken
नीड
out,
से
but
मार
it's
दिया
okay. Well, it started out poorly, but it's been recovered.
Oh.
It was starting to be recovered nicely by the side
Bro.
of EDG. Not again. Not in rounds like this. 𝐒𝐿, the player
Why?
just a smoke against him, and he wins it. Come on. Loud just can't lose.
No, not a third time.
गया
And it's not for EDG.
3 kills pushing through smoke.
भाई स्मोक के बाहर निकल के मार रहा है बंदा
I could chop up every one of those kills and say EDG were unlucky in every single one. They should have won that round.
I can't believe the 2Es has just got away with that. That's absurd. Like every single one of these is him just peeking into an angle, puts a smoke,
कुछ भी मार दिया
smoke, kills the guy, goes back into the smoke, runs back out of the smoke again, and kills another guy. And it just, even ZOTAC's face is like, that was just dirty. Oh, I feel a little bit ill. 12-3.
bruh
How do you think EDG feel on that stage?
Oh, we've casted
Yeah.
best of 3s in the past.
Had our fair share.
Yeah.
बोला नहीं ये मैच में मजा आता नहीं रे ऐसा नहीं बोलते भाई उन लोग कुछ रीजन की वजह से उधर पहुंचे ना ऐसे थोड़ी आगे उन लोग आज उनका दिन नहीं है
Maybe even a little bit quicker than this.
Occupies a very small slot of my memory.
Here we go.
भाई सेन बंडल क्या सेन बंडल
Conclusion. This timeout from EDG, I definitely admire them for taking it.
Match
stay
fixed
on the
है
Stage a little bit longer.
नेक्स्ट कौन जीतेगा
Doubled their time on stage in this map. No, I'm kidding. But maybe they will. Not just because of the timeout, but because of the rounds they'll win following it. EDG won my heart. I even remember on the desk yesterday I said
Rahul Chicha को बुलाओ
massively underestimated.
Rahul.
The second I stop underestimating them, they fall apart.
Yeah. But I think, as you said earlier, the one
Easy
real
बात
benefit
अगर ये निकाला कुछ भी करके इस बार कांगकांग ने ट्राई किया
we are seeing Loud in terrifying form and looking to make their way through to the playoffs.
W है उन लोग देखो इधर से घुस जाएंगे सीधा मैप कंट्रोल का तेल लेगा नहीं हम तो सीधा W करेंगे स्मॉगी फंसा है देखो वो अकेला पिक कर रहा है 3 बंदों को ऑफ कोर्स कंपोज है उनका टीम रे
They're trying to counter out 𝐒𝐿𝐿, but he ain't stopping. He knows there's a
गया
guy
चीचो
in the corner.
इजी है कांगकांग भी गया
Kankan as well. This man has started off this map
इस करेगा
in real form, and he's looking to finish
ये
it
भी
the
गया
same way. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 is going to put another in the dirt. It's left all onto nobody, and the fact is nobody is standing in Loud's way, closing out
1-1
this
होगा
series.
लास्ट मैच नहीं जाएगा ना अभी खत्म हो गया ना टू
EDG as Loud
They are out.
make their way to the playoffs.
दे आर आउट मैन बहुत इजी गेम लगा भाई उनको
Curse is finally broken for their Masters runs. They've made it deep into the tournament. Top 4, and they've looked so damn good.
इन लोग ने PRX को बीट किया भाई
Looking weaker. Loud were top of the list coming into this event. We thought they would do well. They struggled.
पर कल वाली PRX को बीट नहीं कर पाते
On the other side, EDG.
कल वाली जो PRX थी उनको बीट करना मुश्किल हो जाता
Has been remarkable from this squad so far. A shame to close out their final series like this, but it's definitely not representative of what
Already
they've been able
fixed
to bring to the international
भाई
scene.
इतना गंदा थोड़ी खेलते भाई फिक्स करते तो भी
Most teams are scared of in the future, just not in this series.
Especially when we know what the next Masters is going to be. I think he is going to be a name that everybody is going to be shouting. Unfortunately, after victories versus PaperX, a close game versus Genji, it wasn't quite to be today.
मजाक निकलो अब चाइना का भरोसा नहीं
They came in a team that had beaten them before.
कांगकांग को फायर कर देंगे नहीं भाई उसकी वजह से तो उन लोग जीतते थे स्टार प्लेयर है वो उसको नहीं निकालेंगे बाकी लोग को चेंज करेंगे
into the playoffs, and as said, if I'm
शायद
one of those top-seeded teams, I don't want to match up against Loud.
Well, thanks to their Phoenix, this most certainly was a quick one. 24-7. A player that we've highlighted on the desk throughout this event as having struggles. That's what the community
कुछ भी बोलता है भाई इसको उसकी बातों पे फोकस मत रहो
He looks pretty damn comfortable now and terrifying for anyone facing this Loud
EDG
team.
का मेंटर का है वही वो बच्चे जैसी शकल है वो बच्चा ही है वो शायद I don't know his age आएगा अभी
Thanks, guys. I mean,
उनका mentor है.
work, you know, not bad at all. Goodness
Stage पे नहीं दिख रहा मेरे को.
gracious, genuinely blown away. Let's just jump right into this real fast. Go into our hyper.
बहुत young है वो. I mean बच्चा I mean. I meant that.
He's going to be QCK. We're going to give this man his flowers finally on the broadcast. Mimi, he had a lights out.
हाँ हरी भाई.
Quick really stepped up today. I mean, it seemed too easy for him. The way
Too
this
easy.
guy was playing when he was on the Phoenix, he was working into these retakes, incredible, setting up his flashes with his squad, and also just fragging individually.
बुरा लगा भाई.
It was the same on the Jet. This guy has a lot of doubters for good reason. I'll admit, I was one of them, but I think he's dispelled a lot of that criticism with his performance today, especially if he can keep this up into the playoffs.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, most importantly for this instance here, right? Especially for QCK having like this big impactful game, this should be a massive uplift for them. Right?
अभी main game है भाई. Paper X का game है.
Aspas was the playmaker for the team. Was QCK going to be that guy? And he didn't necessarily need to be that guy, but I felt like we.
तुमको game समझा भी क्या हुआ? आराम जादे.
That's what really matters.
Goal player. हाँ.
Finding who they are themselves in 2024.
Yeah, this is going to be super fun to see what Loud can do in the playoffs. But of course,
चुपचाप मैच दिखा PRX और KC का. नहीं मैं बंद कर रहा हूँ. मैं अकेले में देखूंगा वो. I want to enjoy every moment. मैं मस्त नीचे जाऊंगा, कुछ खाना लेके आऊंगा.
Yeah, and this is a team, again, we talked so much about it in the pre-show, about how this team just kept getting better and better, but they really fell apart in these last two matches. The mental was crumbling, the rounds weren't sticking together, and they were up against...
मैं तो अभी
It's so hard to play.
अभी क्या?
I really think that they just somehow after that
गोल्ड थोड़ी वो नीचे वाले सब रैंक सेम ही कलर है भाई. सिल्वर. पीक सिल्वर 3 है मेरा. तो तू खुश हो गया? मैं गोल्ड किया.
What a day. But let's go ahead and hear from the man of the hour. It's ZOTAC standing by with 𝐒𝐄𝐂𝐒.
मेरे को लगता है गोल्ड सबसे नीचे का रैंक रहेगा. ये लो तुम ये देखो.
After that brilliant performance from Loud. So the first question is going to be, what a brilliant performance there on Icebox. EDG picked that map, but you definitely show them how it's played. Did you imagine that it was going to be such a dominant performance? Sé que me has entendido, pero te repito la pregunta. Menuda performance que habéis tenido en ese Icebox. Ellos lo escogen, pero vosotros les dais una lección, impartís cátedra. ¿Cómo ha sido eso?
Y la verdad cuando vimos que ellos... Buenísimo, o sea, es nuestro mapa, nos sentimos muy cómodos, así que
English
entramos con mucha
भाई.
confianza y la verdad salió todo bien.
Basically, when we saw that they picked that map, we were like,
Easy goal. तो पहुंचा क्यों नहीं अभी तक?
we
Easy
feel
है तो.
super comfortable in this map, so everything is going to go our way, and it definitely did. Next question is going to be about QCK, about Quick. Many people have had questions about, you know, who he's replacing and yada yada. I know that he has not had an easy day, and I want you to tell us how he's feeling and how do you see his performance on the big stage.
बस मेरा इंटरनेट अच्छा हो जाए, easy है goal.
Un día facilito, quiero que me digas tú como su IGL.
Good luck for that.
Sus mentores, ¿cómo estás
मेरा
viendo su
इंटरनेट भी अच्छा नहीं हो रहा.
Y la verdad, yo estoy muy orgulloso de él. Para quien no sabe, él durmió solamente 2 horas. Esta noche se la pasó vomitando. Tuvo que ir al hospital, la pasó muy mal y le dijimos, quédate tranquilo, haz tu mejor. Lo que pasa
यूक्रेन
es
से
que
तो
el
नहीं.
mejor del muchacho es muy bueno, la verdad. Así que estoy muy orgulloso, es un guerrero. La verdad que...
क्या बोल रहे हो तुम लोग भाई?
Okay, so basically for those of you who didn't know, QCK was sick. He only slept for 2 hours. They were telling him, hear me out, just do as good as you can. Nobody is going to look down on you if you don't perform. The bad thing is that the worst of this player is actually pretty damn good. Well, with this, thank you
भाई QCK बीमार था ऐसा बोल रहे. क्या मारा उसने बीमारी में भाई? उसके दिमाग में ताव चढ़ गया रहेगा. जो मारा भाई उसने.
equipo de América, Sentinels. Después el resto buenísimo.
मुझे छोरी देखनी है. ये बंदा सेंटिनल का बंडल बेच रहा है.
Play against Sentinels until the finals. So we'll wait and see it there. Don't go anywhere. We have another matchup, KC versus Paper X, right after this.
It's the rubber band match between two teams that could very well go the
भाई सैड हो गया रे. कोई बात नहीं, चलो होता है. होता है भाई. मैं बंद कर रहा हूँ स्ट्रीम. मैं आराम से देखना चाहता हूँ. I want to enjoy the game. I want to enjoy the game, guys. I want to enjoy the game, हाँ.
Be right up behind them. First kill's free and he'll close it. Loud come in with one of the most dominant performances we've seen in the tournament. They are one step away from making it to the top 4.
We've hit a reset point. We've gone into sunset. Man, am I worried about EDG.
This is a confident looking Khan.
Combat, Howdong though wants to take down less, forced forward, and Tui's was waiting. A quick double for him, a triple in fact.
The spam almost eliminating Howdong, wallbang in, it's just one left. They're cleaning house. It's left all onto nobody.
भाई ये मेरा क्लिप अभी भी चल रहा है क्या मार्केट में भाई, पुराने वाला क्लिप?
Closing out this series, a obliteration of EDG as Loud make their way to the playoffs.
सब निकल रहे हैं तो मैं भी गुड नाइट भाई लोग, बाय बाय, टेक केयर, हैव फन बॉयज। जा रहा हूँ मैं मस्त कुछ खाने को लेके, तो आराम से देखता हूँ बैठ के। आई डोंट वांट टू वॉच पार्टी, मस्त आराम से खेलते हैं। वॉच पार्टी खत्म, एंड कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, बाय। कल मिलते हैं नई स्ट्रीम पे, बंद कर रहा हूँ, बाय। ये देखो मेरे हाथ दिख रहे ना, ये लकीरें है ना, इसका मतलब जान के आओ जल्दी, स्क्रीनशॉट लेके। कल बताना मेरे को क्या लिखा है इसमें किस्मत में। जल्दी जाओ, बाय बाय। स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो इसका और नजदीक से देखो।